The views expressed on Talk Real Solutions, hosted by Tyrone Thompson at talkrealsolutions.com, are the views of Tyrone Thompson and do not reflect the views of talkrealsolutions.com, YouTube, or etc. The content here belongs to Talk Real Solutions and its many contributors. Views and opinions expressed by all contributors belong to them and not talkrealsolutions.com or Tyrone Thompson, the host, or etc. All data and information provided on the site is for informational purposes only. Talk Real Solutions makes no representations as to accuracy, completeness, correctness, suitability, or validity of any information on this site and will not be liable for any errors, omissions, or delays in this information or any losses, injuries, or damages arising display or use. All information is provided on an as-is basis.
All right. Welcome to the show. Once again, I'm messing with my audio. I don't know why it keeps screwing up every week. Probably because I don't prepare it ahead of time. So let's see what I'm doing wrong today. Give me 1 second because it's not coming across on YouTube. What is real time speaker? Let's go with default here. Test. No, it's not. I don't know what's going on with my audio. It ain't coming across on YouTube, so I do not know how to fix that on the fly. I'm gonna tell the chat to hold on for a second till I can get the audio up. Let's see. Test. It's not working. What the fuck? I'm sorry. I guess I'm getting old man syndrome. Audio. Let's try this. Test. Nope. I know y'all can hear me on the conference because I see the thing going on the conference, but it's not coming through on YouTube. You can hear me, Mr. Triple Digit? I can't hear the damn. Maybe because I got mine turned down. Oh shit, I'm an idiot. I had my other computer turned down trying to listen to it with all my damn ears. Okay, so welcome to the show. This is Talk Real Solutions, and I am your host tonight, Tyrone Thompson. I want to thank you for tuning in. Today is, what is today's date? June the 13th, 2023. And if you want to join the conversation tonight, like I always do, I invite each and all takers to call into the number at 717-908-1834. And then y'all have to excuse me. I don't know what's going on with my throat. I got to drink some water. But and then you can hit the participant code at 917-324, and I'll get you on the line, and you can talk about anything that you want to. And I'm going to be honest with you, I have not been following any of this crap that's been going on, but you know I'm going to give my opinion on whatever I think it is. I know there's a lot of stuff going on left and right. You got the Trumps, and you got celebrities doing this and celebrities doing that, and it's all kind of news just going crazy. Hunter Biden, now he's a felon, just like Donald Trump. That's what I named the show. Little Don, and Hunter are guilty. Now what? So what's next with all that? I mean, it's just, we live in a crazy world. No, we don't live in a crazy world. We live in crazy times. I thought, growing up in this country, I thought that we was on a trajectory of improving society. But over time, all it took was an insert of one idiot, one racist extremist, and American society is going backwards. I know there's a lot of things to say about both sides, and I hate both sides in the political conversation, but it seemed like that's the only way you get people attention if you point both sides out. I know there's a lot of wrong on both sides, but there's one side that is completely gone off the rail, and we can see that. We can see that whenever we look at the Republican Party, and I think and you have to analyze this thing as we go on and try to figure out what's wrong with these idiots. I think because these people have invested so much time into one's political ideology, and because they claim that they believe in the tenets and the morals and the values of Republicans or quote unquote conservatives, that it's hard for them to actually look at what they've invested so much time in and say, look, I made a bad decision. Or not that you made a bad decision, that the thing that I invested so much time is have gone to the left. And they don't, it's hard for them to jump ship. So they're just gonna drown with the Titanic. Because at this point in time, if you look at the Republican Party, guys, you don't even have to look at Donald Trump no more. You can look at how extreme that entire political party has become, and people are doubling down, tripling down, even quadrupling down on staying with that party, which is nuts to me. As an African American, as a black man, right? If you was to, these conversations have failed by the wayside, but if you was to side with extremist organizations, right? The people that was talking about killing Whitey and all of that kind of stuff, right? If you was to side with those type of organizations back in the day, you would immediately be called out, right? And people would use you as an example of what's wrong with society and why society is going bad, because you're getting radicalized by black Americans, and that's just what's wrong with society. So, and then our community, when it was found out that people were attached to those type of organizations, we would kind of push it away and say, no, that's not me. I don't want to be extreme and all this kind of stuff, right? Because I don't know, I guess we got common sense. But when you look at the Republican Party, and you can see the extremism, you can hear the extremism with commentators like Charlie Kirk and others like Tucker Carlson and all of these talking heads on Fox News and the racists that's in the Republican Party that are proudly saying that they're Republicans. You don't hear no denouncing them. You don't see the Republican Party pushing away from that extremism. As a matter of fact, you see wholehearted, full-throated, and embracing of these extremists. And the reason I said all of that is because the average political person, just the run-of-the-mill Republican, now they have to commit to being extremists too. And that's the mindset. I don't get it. I don't see why the average Republican that watches their political party become extreme, I don't see why it's so hard to say, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not with that, But there's something there. And I know what it is. People don't like to hear me talk about it, but I know what it is. But there's something there, that glue that is causing these people to stick together through the most outrageous, the most outrageous representation of republicanism that can be displayed since its invention. I don't know. I know that the Republicans have been plagued with racism. I've called that out over the years, time and time again. Yeah, that's extreme to me. But these people have added on to the racism. They've added on to things like violating laws and not following the Constitution and not caring about other Americans. taking away rights, um, denigrating the flag, uh, what do you call it? Worshiping an idol. Uh, I don't know how. It's just crazy to me, and I know good and well the other side, which I tend to be on that side. I would never, ever. I don't give a crap who you is. If you saying some extreme stuff, if you're taking away rights, if you're want to shit on this country, I would never agree with that. I would never promote you. There would be no reason to promote you. But the other side, it's one of these things to where they found somebody and they want to rebrand that person, just like they did Ronald Reagan. Ronald Reagan was a dry run for what we watching now. Because when Ronald Reagan was president, didn't nobody like him. His own goddamn party didn't like him, right? Ronald Reagan didn't become the glory child of the Republican Party until after he was president. I'll say that again. Ronald Reagan didn't become this famous person in the Republican Party until after he was president. And they did that because they needed somebody to glorify. You can't go in history and think of a Republican leader. I can't. You can't think of a Republican leader that actually stood for anything good for this damn country. Not one. If you guys know, then I know. But Ronald Reagan ain't it. Ronald Reagan was one of the most goddamn corrupt presidents that we had. Ronald Reagan was one of the most goddamn corrupt presidents that we had. And they tried to make him look good because of what's that dude named Oliver North and Iran Contra and all. They tried to cover that up. They tried to cover that up with promoting somehow or another Ronald Reagan was this outstanding president. No, he was full of corruption. I can't think of it off the top of my head, but as y'all can hear, I'm tapping right now. And it's probably got a list of yeah, there it go right there. It says Iran Contra is the number one. I put it on the screen for you. I just typed in Ronald Reagan corruption. It's got Iran Contra, the Department of Housing and Urban Development, grant rigging, lobbying scandal, the EPA scandal, the savings and loan crisis. I remember that one. Operation 3 Win. I don't know what that is. Wed Tech scandal, debate gate. I mean, there was just all kinds of corruption. What is debate gate? In the final days of the 1980s president election, briefing papers that were to have been seen by President Jimmy Carter in preparation for October 28, 1980 debate, Reagan was somehow acquired by the Reagan's team that was not divulged to the public until June 1983. Published in Gambling with History, Reagan and the White House in debt. James Baker swore upon the oath that he had received a briefing from William. So I guess somehow or another during the debate, they stole some fucking notes or some bullshit. But what I'm trying to say is that Ronald Reagan is put forward as this darling of the Republican Party and this darling of the United States, and he was fucking corrupt, right? So I think the way they're doing Trump, and because they seen that once they did that to Ronald Reagan, that it's somewhat successful. Because whenever people speak of Ronald Reagan now they speak of him as in a positive light, right? And if you're not politically smart, then you're just going to go with the conversation and push on the lie that somehow another Ronald Reagan was this great president, right? When, if you paid attention just a little bit, then Ronald Reagan was a piece of crap. And then I think we had an audio, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. I think we had an audio of Ronald Reagan having a conversation with somebody, and he was just as racist as anybody else. He was on the phone with somebody. I think he was calling Africans monkeys or some bullshit like that, right? So the right has this ability, right? They can remake an individual's persona through propaganda, right? Now, with Ronald Reagan, they did it after he was in office, but with Donald Trump, it's being done while he's on the public stage. They're trying to reinvent him as he goes out here and screws up. And it's working. It is working. Because you got idiots like Jermaine and ABC that that somehow or another want to. Hold on for a second. All right, so where was I at? I was I was trying to explain to y'all how the remake of Donald Trump in real time is effective because you got people like Sarge and ABC and Jermaine to a certain extent that actually believes the reinvented real time narrative of their superhero and their god Donald Trump, while he's doing illegal, immoral, disgusting, racist shit right in front of their face. And the propaganda is so damn strong on the right that it doesn't matter to them what he's actually doing. What matters to them is what narrative, what talking point is being put out about this man I admire. That's what matters to them, which is batshit crazy to me. Because how you gonna judge somebody not by their deeds, but by talking points and propaganda? That is kind of crazy to me. And as if y'all listen to me when I talk every week, all three of you, if you listen, you can see that I'm trying to decipher this shit as it go along. You see, and because I've never seen this before. If you want to do a comparison, let's do a comparison to Barack Obama, right? We knew that Barack Obama had an African daddy and he had a white mother. He was biracial and he was he was born in Hawaii and raised across seas in Indonesia to a certain degree and other places. We all knew that about Obama. Then we knew about his relationship with his wife and then his education. We kind of got a little glimpse of that. And then we seen him become a senator. He became a very well-spoken orator, and he was able to move crowds and motivate people and do stuff in Chicago. And we seen this history of this political figure being created in front of our eyes, right? We didn't, but you can go back and actually research and find out what the man did in his life. And then he went to this church with this preacher, Reverend Jeremiah Wright, that everybody lost their fucking minds over when Jeremiah Wright was telling the truth about this damn country. If you put Jeremiah Wright in the pulpit right now, he called out every motherfucking thing that we're witnessing right now. Let me say that again. Jeremiah Wright pinpointed the identical situations that we're going through today. But what happened when Barack Obama was associated with Jeremiah Wright, right? But Jeremiah Wright was an extremist. Jeremiah Wright didn't like America because he said the chickens are coming home to fucking roost. Right? Y'all remember all of that bullshit about Jeremiah Wright and Barack Obama having to stop going to fucking church? Which just is a Christian nation, you know, but they made that man stop going to a goddamn Christian church. Because Jeremiah Wright was extreme. Barack Obama had to disavow so many people because they might tend to be extreme. Right? And then when Barack Obama got time for him to vote, what was the number one question that I got asked was, are you voting Barack Obama because he's black? What? Why is that even in the conversation? The reason that they was asking for that question, because they needed a narrative. They needed a narrative and say, this voter really ain't educated on voting. He's voting at a level of race, so he's not educated enough to know that he's changing the country and policies by voting for this man. We're gonna relegate him down to only thinking that he's voting for somebody because he's black. So I answered the question. Yeah, I'm voting for him because he's black, but I'm also voting for him because he's promising change. He's promising he's going to structure the way America is doing business, right? He was making all these promises that sounded good in my political mind. But they didn't want to hear the latter part. They just wanted to hear that I was voting for Barack Obama because he was black. Which is not a negative thing. This country needs to evolve, and it's about time that they elected somebody of color. But that's not the point that I'm trying to make. But my point is, these people that support Donald Trump label Barack Obama as extreme and had him push aside all of these people that might seem like they might be a little bit extreme, right? You hear Sarge talking about the Weather Underground all the goddamn time. You know, something that I guess Barack Obama knew people when he was younger that was associated with the Weather Underground. You know, but that wasn't in his current life, right? But it was something that he did years prior, I'm assuming, right? But they tried to discredit Barack Obama and put him in association with these extremist groups. And it worked. Barack Obama turned out to be one of the cleanest presidents that didn't have any controversy, that didn't have anything wrong. He was well educated. He knew his shit. You know, it worked. It cleaned him up. You know, because every time America or these racists said, you know, we don't like this, they got rid of it. It cleaned them up. So his presidency was without drama. It was without a whole bunch of bullshit because he knew that he always had an eye on him. He knew that he could not be a radical president. He knew he had to govern right down the middle of the country. And he stayed in line, which, you know, black people say that, you know, that was a bad thing. I don't think it was a bad thing. I don't think it was a bad thing. He stayed in line, and that's the way that these racist ass motherfuckers wanted him to be. And he stayed that way. Barack Obama, they thought Barack Obama was so extreme, even though he didn't show no evidence of it. He created this whole fucking movement on social media called the preppers, right? You know, if you're watching these prepping videos and these homesteading videos where people is prepping for doomsday, that was all because of Barack Obama, guys. Because they thought that black president was somehow or another going to take their guns, enslave white people, and cause this mass uprising in the country. These preppers was getting prepared for what was black people was going to do to them. That's what the fucking prepper movement was. You know, and he called this other movement called the Tea Party because they were so scared that Barack Obama was extreme that they had to come up with this organization to ensure that their white Christian American values would stay in politics. So they cheated, they gerrymandered, they elected people that wasn't qualified, they installed judges and state officials that had no idea what the fuck they were doing, and they got them in Washington too, right? With this Tea Party movement. Because they was afraid that Barack Obama was extreme. Now, fast forward to today, and you watch these same motherfuckers that was trying to warn this country about extremist rhetoric, about extremist and anti-American behavior, about unlawful activities, about all of this crap. Donald Trump has broke every motherfucking law. He's done and told, we've heard him say on video that he gonna grab women by the vagina without their permission. We know that he got found guilty of damn sexual assault, or found liable for sexual assault in E. Jean Carroll. We know that he doesn't follow the law because he got sued twice by E. Jean Carroll for defamation, right? And lost. We know that he can't follow the law because when a sitting judge instructed him to do something from the bench, he couldn't keep his damn mouth shut, and he had to pay a sum of $7,000 to $9,000 because he couldn't follow the fucking law or the rules of the court. We know that he don't give a shit about the law because down in Georgia, he's got so many damn co-conspirators that was trying to overturn the goddamn election in Georgia. He broke all those fucking laws. He's getting charged with RICO down there. We know that in New York with the financial situation to where he just lost and got found guilty 34 times. He broke all those motherfucking laws. Right? We know that Donald Trump got impeached twice. Once for trying to interfere with the election again by calling Vladimir Zelensky a fucking another fucking country to tell them to interfere with the United States of America's election. People were in the room. It was a presidential phone call. People have notes and annotations of that damn phone call and heard the damn president of the United States talk to another leader, another world leader, and tell him, if you do me this favor, I will release this money for you that that's supposed to be authorized to be given to you anyway. And he committed high crimes and misdemeanors with that activity. We know that. And we know that he got impeached a second time for trying to commit a coup d'etat in the United States of America by overthrowing the fucking government. Treasonous activity from the president of America. All of those things, and that's just a short list. Because we're leaving out the violation of the emoluments clause. We're leaving out the nepotism where he hired his daughter, his son-in-law, his sons, his fucking goldfish, his dog, his cat, and put them all in the goddamn White House. and they was leeching off of America and just conducted all kind of damn corruption while they was in the White House. We leaving out the fact that after they left the White House, there was a report done, and we found out that them motherfuckers was up there doing roofies and fentanyl and all this kind of shit. They was up there in the White House just sucking down drugs. I mean, all of this shit that is factual. I have not made up one claim that I've said about the Trump or his administration while he was in office and while he's out of office. Oh, let's not let me forget that this motherfucker took out top secret documents, classified documents, things that belonged in the National Archive, and stored them in the bathroom, in the pool house, in his clubhouse, on stages, was showing them to other foreign leaders. All these documents, America's secrets. Let's not forget that he's got that shit going on, right? Now, all of that shit that I just named, if you talk to somebody like Sarge or ABC, they will tell you all of that stuff was concocted by the left. everything that I just named, somehow or another, George Soros orchestrated all of that shit. But that's how their mind works. Their mind is so small that they got to relegate all of Trump's wrongdoing down to one thing and say, it was the left or it was Biden. The judges are corrupt. These things are rigged. All of that shit. That's how small their mind is. They don't want to look at the full impact of Donald Trump's corruption. They have to bend over backwards to make excuses for this grifting ass, gold sneaker selling, orange idiot, so they won't have to face reality. And it's a mental mind fuck that they doing to themselves, and they're becoming crazier and crazier as time goes along, in supporting this guy, right? And it's not only Sergeant ABC but because Donald Trump showed up in Washington today. He showed up back in Washington at the scene of the crime. And the reason that that's important is because he didn't have no business there, in my opinion. He's not an elected official. He's a civilian. He's an ex-president that's supposedly supposed to have no power. He's a one-term, twice impeached, sexual assaulter, 34-count felon, indicted hundreds of times. I don't know how many times they're indicted, but maybe tens of times. I don't know. He should not be anybody's political leader. Because if Ray Ray had those same credentials, nobody would follow him. Nobody. You would call him a thug. You would say that we're not following that criminal. You would say this man cannot control his behavior enough to follow the law. So why should we even give him the time of day? But little Don Don got all these damn crimes and convictions and felonies, and oh no, it's the left. It's George Soros. It's Bill Gates. It's MSNBC. It's crazy. I don't get it. Jermaine said, I never read the Constitution. What the hell are you talking about, Sarge? I might remind you that the Constitution requires that the POTUS be a civilian. You missed my point when I said Donald Trump is a civilian, right? He's a civilian that is not in office, that has not been elected to anything, that has not been nominated. Well, I guess he's the party leader right now, but he's a civilian. And the people that are supposed to be running this country was elected to their positions, right? The senators and the congressmen and the local officials, the governors, and they actually went through an election and won. And the who they're supposed to be governing for is who put them in office, their constituents, not Donald Trump in Florida. So what your district or area or state or locality wants, they elected an individual to do that, and that individual is supposed to listen to its constituents, not confer with Donald Trump before he makes a decision, he or she makes a decision about what to do for his district. That just don't make no damn sense. That he's turned this whole shit on his head. So he showed up in Washington, right? And all of these congressmen and senators and Cecil the Turtle, Mitch McConnell, and all of those people are kissing his ass. And he literally don't have any power. They give him the power by coordinating him, what do you call it, coronation, by coronation, making him a king, and they all kiss the fucking ring whenever he shows up or speaks. Which, if you're one of those representatives' constituents, I'd be like, what the fuck? Just like with Lindsey Graham kissing his ring. I'm like, from South Carolina, I'm like, nobody gives a shit. This is me. I know I'm in a deep red state, and I'm probably the only person that feels this way when Lindsey Graham and Tim Scott and Nancy Mace, when they all up there kissing Donald Trump's ass, I'm like, okay, well, that's not really a true representation of all South Carolinians, because I don't believe in anything the motherfucker's saying. So what I'm trying to say is the constituents for these other people, they should be saying the same thing. Is why is all these people kissing the ring of Donald Trump? That ain't gonna do shit for our district. Donald Trump has took over the Republican Party, the RNC, the Republican National Committee, or whatever that is, and he's installed his family in there, and they're paying his legal bills. I've never seen anything like this. This is crazy to me. Not in the history of America, nothing like this has ever happened. And because you have a propaganda network ran by an old ass, racist ass Australian, Rupert Murdoch, that is pulling the strings of one of the most prominent news organizations in America, you have these talking points that are allowed, this propaganda that is allowed to spread in America from this fucking Australian. And people like ABC and Sarge is none the wiser. Judge Janine Pirro is getting paid a whole lot of damn money to lead you motherfuckers along by the string. Jesse Walters is getting paid a whole lot of money to lead you motherfuckers along by the nose. And they don't give a shit because it's not going to affect them. But who it will affect is you at the grocery store and at the gas station. It don't affect them at the gas station. They get chauffeured around. They don't give a fuck about gas price. They can sit up there on their podium and yell how high gas prices is all they want to, but they know they can't afford it. Getting these $1 million paychecks. They don't give a shit about what grocery costs because they got chefs. They got people to cook for them. They don't, but it's going to affect you when you go to the grocery store. That Donald Trump is giving tax breaks to the rich. That Clarence Thomas is sitting on the goddamn Supreme Court of the United States of America, violating his oath of office by getting paid from, what's that, Harlan Crow, this gazillionaire that is bought the fucking Supreme Court. Justice Alito, that's another thing that came out this week. There's an audio of Justice Alito and his wife being biased. Now, I don't know if Sarge remember this, but we had a conversation on this show when we was on Blog Talk Radio about the Supreme Court. And he stood on his square when he told me that once they become a justice, once they swear in, and we couldn't prove either side, but just for the history of the Supreme Court, we knew that they were supposed to take a non-biased approach in interpreting the law. That's, so, I had to concede. I couldn't prove either way what the justices were thinking, right? But because of the history of the Supreme Court and what they represented and what they stood for, that was an argument that could be made that, you can get a little pushback on, but you really didn't have no proof. Now we have proof. Now we have proof that Justice Alito is biased towards conservatism and against liberalism because of these audios that came out. Now we have proof that Justice Alito's wife is anti-homosexual and she flew the flag upside down at Justice Alito's house in support of the January 6th people that tried to overthrow the goddamn government. We have proof. We have them saying it out of their own goddamn mouth, how they're sympathetic with the people who tried to commit a coup in this goddamn country. And these justices are sitting on the goddamn bench making decisions about that goddamn coup, that insurrection on January the 6th, and they were sympathetic to it. We have proof of that now. So what I'm trying to say with all of this right here is the Supreme Court ain't worth a fuck. The laws in this country don't matter no more. Donald Trump was revealing it slowly. How these laws and the Constitution don't mean a shit to some of these people. Whenever we say some people in this country is above, whenever we say no one is above the law, that is a lie. Clarence Thomas is above the law. Justice Alito is above the law. Clarence Thomas' wife is above the law. Donald Trump is above the law. Jared Kushner is above the law. His daughter is above the law. These people have broken laws and not been held accountable. So what does that mean to the average person like me? That means that now my view of the Constitution is that if you have money and influence and power, you do not have to follow the Constitution. If you have money, influence, and power, that Constitution ain't nothing but a piece of goddamn paper. The same thing that I've been saying for fucking years. Donald Trump, Justice Alito, Justice Thomas's wife, they took the Constitution and they wiped their ass with it. That's what I meant when I said people can wipe their ass with the Constitution. And people was trying to come up here and tell me, Tyrone, you said this about the Constitution. Well, look at your justices. Look at Donald Trump. Look at what the fuck he's doing to the Constitution. They wiping their ass with the Constitution. And they're the ones that's put in place to interpret the laws and interpret the Constitution and make sure everybody live by those tenets. And they're not doing that. They're not doing it. They want everybody else to live by the law. I got a perfect example for you. Look at Florida and Judge Cannon Well, that's just too complicated for you. But I'll just scratch on it since I mentioned it. Judge Cannon in Florida is 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 kind of not, because she was appointed by Donald Trump. She's showing favor to Donald Trump in this Jack Smith documents case. So in Florida, the judge is down there is helping Trump subvert the laws and how a regular court proceeding is supposed to happen because she was installed by Donald Trump. But, for me to sit up here and go through the details, it'll probably be boring and too complicated. But she's down there manipulating the damn system for Donald Trump. But back to what I was saying, whenever we say no one is above the law in this country, that has been proven over and over and over again to be false by this current political situation that we're in. Now, I knew it way back when. And I can say around, because I believed in the law wholeheartedly for a long time in my life. But around 9/11, around the time Colin Powell showed up at the Pentagon line, around the time George Bush sent us to a fucking war, I kind of knew that these people weren't shooting straight. And it took some shaking to wake me up with Colin Powell, because I was like, there is no way a general can give a PowerPoint presentation about weapons of mass destruction and ain't none of it true. I should have been aware because of Ronald Reagan and Oliver North, but I was like, well, those they were just corrupt. You win some, you lose some, and those motherfuckers were corrupt. But when George Bush and Colin Powell and this whole thing with weapons of mass destruction popped off, I was like, okay, there's a culture of corruption that exists in Washington, D.C., and hopefully it's only a few. But I ain't know how damn deep the rabbit hole goes. It's almost damn near everybody that get power and they think that they can skirt around the rules and regulation and laws because of their power. They're going to take advantage of that goddamn power. So everybody that we elect, and I'm saying everybody, I'm generalizing, everybody that so you're going to have to come and prove yourself the opposite to me, because I'm putting you all in that boat. Everybody that we elect, everybody that gets power, everybody that is in the position to actually subvert the law, they take advantage of it. They take advantage of it. You can look at Menendez, whatever the fuck, with the gold bars in his shoes and in his closet. I mean, look at him. You can look at these congressmen in the House of Representatives that that bid on the stock prices before the American people to enrich themselves. They take advantage of it. So we live in an entire corrupt system that they don't give a shit about the American people. None of them do. It is clear. And because that system is corrupt, it is easy for the Republicans to just throw fucking caution to the wind and get behind this corrupt orange idiot that breaks the law every goddamn day. Every day he's threatening people. Every day he's violating his gag order. And now that he's a felon, he has restrictions in this country that he's going to have to live by. But because he's Donald Trump and he violates those restrictions, these people going to give him a pass. I know I've been on Donald Trump, but Hunter Biden got found guilty on his charges. On his gun charge or whatever. Now what? I mean, you got Trump guilty, you got Hunter Biden guilty, and now what? I don't think Hunter Biden should have went. I told y'all this last week. I don't think that he should have went to federal court with this shit. I don't think that it is as serious as Fox News and America made it out to be. The man clearly has a drug problem, and I thought we were supposed to help people with drug problems, but pushing past that, with all of this Second Amendment advocacy in this country, and they don't want any restrictions on the Second Amendment and gun ownership in this country. The NRA is lobbying all of these people in Washington so they can have unfettered access to the rules and regulations around guns, so much so that they use these guns to kill children in schoolhouses on a regular basis. They use these guns in this country to commit mass murder on a consistent basis in all walks of, in all neighborhoods. Every day in this country, somebody getting shot and possibly killed by a gun in this damn country. We so liberal in this country with guns and don't want any restriction from the mentally ill, right? Down here in South Carolina, they just passed the law. I didn't look it up, but somebody told me about it, so I'm repeating the hearsay right now. They just passed a new law to where you can just open carry a fucking gun. Let me look it up anyway. Open carry a gun, and I don't think you even have to have a damn license. So South Carolina Governor marked a new gun law with the ceremonial bill signed on March 19th, 2024. South Carolina passed. Governor Henry McMaster held a ceremony Tuesday to spotlight a new gun law allowing any adult who can legally own a gun, or they say legally own a gun to carry the weapon openly without permit. Right here. This is how much they love guns in this goddamn country. If you can legally own a gun, you can strap that motherfucker to your baseball cap, to your ankle, walk around with twirling it on your motherfucking finger, in and out fucking department stores, in parks, in the mall. You can walk around with a gun in South Carolina just freely now. So these motherfuckers love guns so goddamn much in this country that this state, in this year, March 19th, passed a law saying, fuck it. If you got a gun, you can carry it any kind of way you want to. But because of politics and Hunter Biden was on crack at the time that he held a gun, and then he got rid of the gun, and then he became clean, he's got a felony now. So we're gonna deal with that. You broke the law, Hunter. You get what's coming to you. That's the way I see it, really. But I'm telling you that it's bullshit, especially from the people who advocate so much fucking gun freedom in this goddamn country. Don't y'all think that's ironic? That they're so desperate to get something on Joe Biden that they're going to dig down in the weeds of his family and try to find somebody that violated a law and say that he lied on a form and count that as a crime. Whenever they said that he lied to the FBI, I said, okay, well, that's kind of different. But he didn't actually lie to the FBI. He lied on a form, which they're looking at the same thing. And you know, everybody lie on goddamn forms at some point in time. But let's not dwell on that. The man got found guilty, and his sentences are coming up. So take your damn medicine, son. You shouldn't have did it. It is what it is. So Hunter Biden got found. I'm sorry. I wasn't even looking at the switchboard. I'm gonna open you guys' line in a second. Hunter Biden got found guilty. Great, but they only did that to try to get back at Donald Trump. That's the only reason that the Hunter Biden got found guilty of a felon for owning a fucking gun in America. Everybody, there's over 300 gazillion million guns in this motherfucking country. And you got one motherfucker that was doing crack and he had a gun for a short amount of time and this motherfucker get a felony. Get the fuck out of here. When you allowing fucking mass fucking shootings in this country, children are getting killed in elementary schools in this goddamn country, you gonna tell me that we had to waste our tax dollar money to prosecute this non-fucking important issue with the president's goddamn son? But like I said, you did it. They found some rules to hold you accountable, goddamn it. You're gonna have to be accountable. You're gonna have to be held accountable. But they did it because Donald Trump got all these damn felonies, right? And they're doing it for politics because they know that they don't want to speak about Donald Trump. Donald Trump can't even own a gun now, right? He can't own a gun in this country. There's a lot of states that Donald Trump cannot vote in. I think when he got convicted, Ron DeSantis had to make an exception and tell Donald Trump that, yes, you know, you're the king and you can vote down here now. Because other felons in Florida cannot fucking vote. You see how he's above the law right now? They rewrite and reshape the fucking law for this motherfucker. But let me shut up. I don't know how long I've been talking. I guess I've been talking for a long time. Who's this unknown caller?
Now, if you be quiet real quick and you listen real carefully, you'll now hear the difference between you and someone who is principled and understands the Constitution with regard to this Hunter Biden conviction. Now, are you ready to hear the truth, or do you want to keep on going on with your Trump derangement syndrome? What do you want to do?
Sarge, you can speak, man. You know I allow you to speak every time you come on here.
Let me explain to you why I have a principled opinion about Hunter Biden. I want you to listen very carefully. This is the difference between you and me. All right? Now, Sarge, the personal Sarge that has nothing to do with the rule of law or the Constitution is ecstatic that a corrupt member of the bribery-enabling Biden crime family has been convicted of a crime. Sarge personally loves it. But the Sarge that respects for that. He should not have been convicted of unconstitutional law. Having said that, however, it is the extant law, and they have chosen to enforce it, and it was properly enforced because the facts of the matter and the law are clear as a bell. He was guilty of violating an unconstitutional law, and they have convicted him of it. But hopefully, we'll get this stupid thing overturned. Now, next. With regard to all these things, and these leftists now trying to make some sort of analog between Joe Biden gracefully accepting his son's conviction for a crime, unlike Donald Trump, who railed against imaginary injustices and corrupt judges and all of that. The analog doesn't hold up to scrutiny for one disputed about the facts and the law in Hunter Biden's case. The only question was whether or not it applied to him. There are at least, and I counted them and added them up and written about them, there are at least 34 reversible errors of judicial procedure, constitutional law, and precedent in Donald Trump's conviction, to say nothing of the Frankenstein manner in which that fat bastard in Manhattan went and corrupted the law in order to get him prosecuted in the first place. So if you're going to try to make some sort of analog between it, let's talk about some facts, because they just don't stand up, Tyrone.
Okay, Jay, go ahead, man.
So I'm glad that Sarge is, I guess, honest and dishonest. But look, we I'll go back because I'm not here to start up anybody. I just kind of like give an opinion. So what you said earlier, I believe I agree with you. I think that this is a tit for tat. You know, since they got Donald Trump on something, it would be crazy not to get Hunter Biden on something. Now, Hunter Biden opened himself again, like you said. The law, you know, they could choose to charge it. You know, some people were saying that this whole thing with Donald Trump, they could left it alone or didn't. I guess the law, the professionals that are non-biased, that they're gonna tell you law how it is, not because they like this one or that one, could kind of sit down at a table and break that shit down. But this one, for what I heard, a lot of experts, it's like they didn't have to do all that. It was like, this is some shit that they found a way they can pin them. So, there's always a way. I guess the law can find something if you make some type of mistake or do something that they can get you if you don't got your squeaky clean thing. I say, yeah, they targeted him, tit for tat. Hunter Biden, loose cannon, was acting stupid, was not moving. I just say for him being a privileged person in general, like Donald Trump's kids, or how you move is very important, and he was reckless. So his recklessness got him jammed up in a situation. Is it equate to, first of all, he's the son of a president, which is embarrassing, but the bigger picture is this. Donald Trump got 34 fucking felonies that he just got, they convicted him, right? And now he's fighting. For them to try to compare Donald Trump to Hunter Biden is lame, but, that's all they have, you know what I'm saying? They couldn't get to Joe Biden. They really couldn't get nothing out of, whatever they trying to get. And, so this is the best thing that they can do. So here we are, Hunter Biden, drug, gun charge, whatever, and then, I guess the taxes or whatever. But as far as what the bigger picture should be, yes, like I said, he fouled up, he's a son of a president, he's moving reckless. But the bigger picture is this. Wasn't he supposed to be, where's the Burisma charges? Where's all this shit that they talking about that give the old guy, give the big guy, give Pops the money? Where is that? There is no connection. I'm still waiting. I'm folding my arms, and I'm going to close my eyes, and I'm waiting for this case to come forward with the Burisma corruption connected to Joe Biden. I'm just going to fold my arms and wait on that. You might have something with the charges of him getting caught up with this bullshit, which that's all they could find. Okay, he broke the law. Now they're going to deal with it. But I'm still folding my arms, waiting for the Burisma.
Well, now we know that the laptop is real because they used it to convict Hunter Biden at his gun charge. They took stuff off the laptop, and they introduced stuff from the laptop to convince the guy at trial. So now we know all those intelligence agents were lying to us. We know the demon rats were lying to us because it is Hunter Biden's laptop, and the evidence on it is dispositive of guilt against Joe Biden and his corrupt son and his corrupt brother and the whole rest of them corrupt Bidens. So we know it now. So The question is now, since the Department of Justice is in bottleneck of getting justice properly implemented, and since now Congress has found Merrick Garland in contempt of Congress, next step for them now is to vote for inherent contempt against Merrick Garland, and if they invoke inherent contempt by a vote on the floor of the House of Representatives, that means the Sergeant at Arms can march down to the Department of Justice building and arrest Merrick Garland, put him in the congressional jail until he either coughs up those documents or the congressional session is over. So I hope they do that next, because now Merrick Garland is saying that executive privilege can be extended to him. Well, that didn't work for Steve Bannon. It didn't work for Peter Navarrete. It didn't work for a bunch of people in the Trump administration. But I guess now he's going to try to invoke it on his behalf. These people are the most corrupt creatures I've ever seen in my life. And I'm telling you, November 5th, they're getting their comeuppance.
Okay, so before you go and before I speak, I want you to explain to me what executive privilege is.
Executive privilege covers those conversations and documents that are protected by the fact that the president needs to be able to have confidential discussions in order to formulate policy, decisions, and objectives. So there is an implied power. It is not explicitly granted in the Constitution, but the court has construed it to be one of the implied powers inherent in the office of President of the United States. That's what it is.
Okay, so
and now Merrick Garland is saying he's going to invoke it to protect him against this pending charge, possibly. It hasn't happened yet. I'm not saying it has, but this impending charge of inherent contempt, which means the sergeant at arms can lock his ass up if they get a vote on the House floor for it.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to quieten you for a second, and please don't cut me off. Merrick Garland cannot invoke executive privilege by the name of the fucking word, executive privilege. We only have one executive at a time, and that executive is Joe Biden. Joe Biden told Merrick Garland not to release this shit, and because they have the transcript already. So if they needed to conduct an investigation about Joe Biden's interview, then they could use the transcripts to do that. They don't necessarily need the audio. So Joe Biden, okay, I said not to interrupt me. So Joe Biden is the executive, and because he is the executive, he can invoke executive privilege as long as he hold that motherfucking office, Sarge. You can't sit up here and say that they don't have a right to invoke executive privilege whenever the executive is the goddamn president of the United States, and it's not against the law to withhold that damn audio because they have the transcripts. So you're all fucked up.
Tyrone, here's why it is. See, I can explain everything. And let me tell you why it is problematic for them. Because by releasing the transcript, they are not invoking executive privilege. By releasing the transcript, they're telling Congress, this is what it is. This is what was on the tape. These words are the only words you need to be concerned about on the tape. Congress wants to see if what's on the transcript aligns with the tape. Don't you understand? The oversight of the executive branch means they have an absolute right to see if that transcript that they say is a complete story aligns with the tape itself. So you're wrong. They've already waived executive privilege by releasing the transcript, which leaves it open to being verified and corroborated by the audio tape itself.
Okay, so hold on. And don't you and Antoinette, I'm gonna get to you. But because Sarge is an idiot, I have to put up the definition so you guys can read it. And here's what executive privilege is. It's the doctrine of executive privilege defines the authority of the president to withhold documents or information in his possession or in the possession of the executive branch from legislative or judicial branch of the government. Now, Sarge is saying because they released the text that they've got rid of executive privilege and should already release to also release the audio. That's not true. Text is one thing, right? And audio is another thing. Those are two different fucking items that Sarge is trying to combine and say that they're one fucking thing. No, they released the goddamn text. You get the text, that's it. I want the audio too. No, I'm invoking executive privilege for the audio. That is not illegal, Sarge. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And where the fuck did you go to law?
You're wrong in every aspect of law. Every time an issue like this comes up, you're always wrong and I'm always right.
Okay, well,
now, I'm going to tell you again. They opened this call, opening the door. You ever heard that term before in the law? They opened the door by releasing the transcript.
They did not.
Now they can challenge it.
Okay, so let me let
I don't know
Andrew.
what law school you went to.
So let me ask
I
you
didn't
this
go
right
to
here.
law school,
Let me
but I
let,
damn sure saw things like this invoked regularly in the courts.
let me ask you
I
this right
saw
here.
it with my own eyes.
Let me so the text and the audio is one thing. Is that what you're saying?
No, they're not the same thing.
Okay,
What
then,
is
damn it.
the
That's
same
it.
thing is whether. No, that's not what I said. So why don't you listen to me explain it? Because you're a blockhead. You got wax in your ears. What I said was, in their oversight capacity, the Congress of the United States, in overseeing the executive branch, now has the right to determine whether or not what's on that audio aligns with the transcript that the White House released. Don't you get it?
Okay, listen. Let me hold on for a second.
Yeah, you got
Antoinette, hold on, wait.
Too many times.
I'm trying to think of the guy name. Robert Hurd, the special counsel that did the investigation, swore on the penalty of perjury that what the fuck was in that damn transcript. So you shouldn't be looking at Merrick Garland, motherfucker. You should be looking at Robert Hurd, a goddamn Republican that was installed by motherfucking Donald Trump to investigate Joe Biden. He's the one that should be questioning the goddamn text. Shut the fuck up. Okay, shut up. You know I'm right. Shut up. Shut the fuck up. Then you should lock Robert Hurd up. Shut the fuck up. You should lock Robert Hurd up if you think that he misleading the goddamn
if he deliberately purged himself, we will know.
But he's on your team. He's on your side, Sarge. Okay, so let me stop. Okay, shut up. Let me.
I don't give a damn who violates the law. They're not on my side if they violate the law. That's the way you think. I don't think like you.
Okay.
I do not think like you.
You don't care.
You think that because you're corrupt, Tyrone. You are corrupt. What matters to you is whether or not your team is winning.
Okay, so Antoinette, welcome to the show. How you doing?
Thank you. I'm well. Thank you. And yourself?
All right. And Miss Lisa, I got your line open. You can go up right after Antoinette. Go ahead, Antoinette.
Okay. Well, I have a couple things to say, so I'm going to say it really quick, y'all. One, Delaware is an open carry state as well, Tyrone. We have been for years. And there have been situations where I went to the market and seen somebody walking around with guns that made me really uncomfortable. So I can understand exactly how you feel when it comes to that. Second, by Delaware being an open carry state, I don't understand what this big thing is about Hunter Biden owning a gun.
There you go.
Because really, even if he didn't buy it directly, I mean, you can go to Walmart and buy a pellet gun and still could do the same damage as a real gun, maybe not as far. But, I mean, if it was all that serious, why did he just steal one of his dad's guns? You know, if he was out to get somebody, or have Secret Service or whoever go out and buy him a gun, one of his drug dealers or anything. And I think that they came after Hunter because of the 34 indictments against Donald Trump. And if Donald Trump doesn't make it, he already told you, which goes to tell you that January the 6th is exactly what it was. Because he's already telling his people, if he doesn't make it, it's going to be a bloodbath. So what's he doing? He's sending out a code. And the first day that he's elected, he's going to be a dictator. So what do you think he's going to do? He's going to release all them people that got sent to jail in the prison, just like when Joe Biden makes sure that his son doesn't go to prison. It's going to be the same thing, but everybody's going to be in an uproar over it. And with that, I'm done. Thank you, Tyrone.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Antoinette. And let's keep in mind, guys, for the January 6 people who got locked up, who actually got locked up? Who got locked up was white nationalists, racists, extremists, and Nazis. The Proud Boys, and the Oath Keepers, and those racists that actually carried weapons to the Capitol, and all of that. Those are the people that's locked up. So they're promoting that they're going to release these racists and extremists back into society, which is fucking, that proves to you that Donald Trump is a goddamn racist, in my opinion. But what's up, Miss Elisa? Welcome to the show.
Hi, Tyrone. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, one of my earphones is out. I'm not going to get into this argument with you and Sarge about this, but I agree 100% with Antoinette that they went after Hunter Biden with all this foolishness, and the most they could get him was for this gun charge. Now, whether it was legal, wasn't done right, that's what they had to be able to go after him. I'm going to be honest. If I were Biden, win or lose, there's a lot of noise in the background. If I were Biden, I would pardon my son, win or lose. I wouldn't give two cents whether who care or think what. After I win, I pardon him. People can fuss and bitch all they want. He's just doing the 4 years that he's gone. If he loses, pardon him on the way out the door. That's what I would do. I would pardon my son. I wouldn't care who think what. That's what I would do, because they went after him. Hunter got a lot of problems. They went after him. All this information and stuff, they claimed they had all of this stuff against him. They had all of this evidence, and whenever it came time to present the evidence, he showed up to court to present the evidence, and they couldn't present the evidence because they didn't have any that was valid. And they could get him in this one, and they know if this was anybody else, they wouldn't. Trump is already talking about how he's going to get revenge against certain people. Like you always just talking about the January 6th people. He's talking about letting them all out. He's going to get revenge against Biden and Hillary, and just about all of the New York their district attorney's office, all of them. I don't know if they could do, but probably them in Florida, if they're able. He has a whole list, retired generals or different people who didn't go long. He's going to fix all them people. So he's doing all this talking about what he's going to do. And he let Steve Bannon off. He gave him a pardon for stealing the funds they raised for that wall and different things like that. Biden is a fool. What is the point of being president if you know they came after your son because of you? I will pardon him of everything, and if it's legal, I will pardon him for anything future. That I don't think you can do that, but anything future, I would. I wouldn't care. I wouldn't give 2 cents what the American people or what anybody thinks. That's just me. That's all I got to say. But I'm not going to argue the son of Biden thing. I'm not going to argue that.
Yeah, one other thing, Tyrone. Look, again, I am principled. Hunter Biden should get nothing more than any other first-time offender that's similarly situated would get, which is usually, if they get jail time, it's a very short jail time. Then they get out, they get either supervised parole or probation. But sometimes they don't even get jail time. It's just supervised probation. So he ought to get he's a first-time offender. He should get whatever any of the others get that's routinely normal to get, and let his daddy decide to pardon him if that's what he want to do, or commute the sentence. I don't give a damn. I'm saying let the rule of law prevail. That's what the demon rats don't even understand.
And you gonna stand on that, huh?
May I say something, Tyrone?
Motherfucking right I am. That's all I've ever stood on since I've been on your goddamn show.
Okay, well, if you want to let the rule of law prevail, then you should have no problems with the indictments and convictions of Donald Trump whatsoever.
Well, nigga, you better get
okay, can you shut the fuck up? Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You listen, you can't have it both ways. You can't say the court system works. Shut the fuck up.
The Constitution and the law.
Why you got to talk when I talk? You can't say the court system.
You're full of shit. You're full of shit.
You can't say the court.
Make this phony analog that doesn't hold up.
Okay, can you please stop talking? You can't say the court system is working and let the rule of law work for Hunter Biden when we see the rule of law working for Joe Biden with grand. Shut the fuck up.
Appeals courts, Tyrone. If everybody got it right the first time, there'd be no need for a goddamn appeal court.
Okay, listen. Okay. See, this is why I mute you. This is why I mute you.
For precedent, then you can make an appeal.
Okay, shut up. This is why I mute you. But Hunter Biden,
what's the matter with you, man?
Can you please shut up? Hunter Biden got a right to appeal too. So does Donald Trump. So your appeal argument is mute. That is part of the goddamn.
Didn't I just say
The appeal is a part of the motherfucking process. That doesn't mean because you can apply for an appeal that somehow or another the system is fucked up. You trying to convolute the conversation by saying that's what the appeals process is. No. That ain't the way it works. It's part of the process, Sarge. So stop that dumb shit confusing people. And here's my point. You can't say.
You not just hear me just say 5 minutes ago that the law he was convicted on is unconstitutional? Yeah, he ought to appeal it. You're damn right he should appeal it.
Okay, you know what? I'm not going to talk.
You don't listen too fucking good, do you?
I'm not going to talk. Okay, who is this new caller? Jesus Christ.
Yo, what up, Tyrone?
Hey, what's happening, man? This motherfucker here got me fucked up.
Yeah, well, LAS. I call him the LAS, the lion-ass Sarge. But I got a question for Lisa. It's the second time, 2 weeks in a row, you said there's a lot of noise in the background, and there isn't any noise that I can hear.
No, I got that. It's Jay New York. I got him. He be doing stuff, so I mute him, so he good.
Yeah, I was moving around, but that's actually that was Sarge's noise. Elisa was talking about that damn all that yelling. That's what she meant.
Well, don't worry about it.
Okay. I thought it was something wrong.
You ain't got to put up with a blockhead, man. If you had to put up with a blockhead, you might be yelling too.
Don't worry about it. Okay, can we let Howard go ahead and speak? Sorry.
I thought it. Okay. I'm glad y'all cleared that up. I thought it may have been something wrong with her earbuds if she was using some or something.
That was
I know sometimes when the noise canceling gets messed up on the earbuds, you have to kind of like reset them, and so that's pretty much all I was called. And Sarge, keep hope alive, brother. Keep hope alive, brother.
All right, yeah. So yeah, like with the Hunter, like what everybody's saying up here, we know that this Hunter Biden laptop story started years ago with the creation of this conspiracy that somehow or another Joe Biden and his whole family was going to get wound up in this thing on the laptop, and they're going to be show connection with China and the Ukraine and money laundering and all of this shit, right? But what they had to do was they had to reach for the lowest fucking fruit that they can and found some bullshit law about a weapon.
Drug addict.
Yeah, a weapon being owned by a person that does drugs. Nobody in this country gets charged for that shit. And they elevated it to it should have been handled at the local level, wherever they was, but it got elevated to the federal goddamn court, so that made it a goddamn felony or some bullshit. For him lying on a form saying that he wasn't using drugs when he purchased the weapon. That is crazy. But that one charge.
When did Hunter Biden come so important, Tyrone? That's
when Donald Trump got charged with when Donald Trump got charged with rape, when Donald Trump got charged with financial fraud, when Donald Trump got caught stealing documents from fucking Washington, that's when Hunter Biden became so goddamn important.
Oh, so we got a government that goes tit for tat. Hey, if I get caught, we're gonna catch somebody on you. That's what we're doing in the United States government now.
Yeah, because think about it. If they had any crimes against Joe Biden, if they had any crimes against Joe Biden, right? Don't you think that they would be sitting on Sean Hannity's show and shitting on Sean Hannity's show about all the crimes that Joe Biden has broke? I mean, come on. They don't have anything on Joe Biden. It was all a lie. It was a conspiracy to amp up people like Sarge so they could say, oh, wait till this comes out. Wait till this. That's Sarge's famous word. Wait till this come out. Ain't nothing never come out.
When did Barack leave office? What year was that? 16?
Yeah.
Well, it's been a shit show for 8 years. Our government has been a fucking shit show. And that's just the truth. I'm speaking on both sides of it. We living in a shit show governed fucking country. I'm keeping it real. I don't have any dog in the fight. I'm just keeping it real. You got people on both sides arguing with each other. While these damn politicians sitting back.
Well, ABC's comment just proved how dumb. ABC's comment just proved how dumb that they've gotten these people, because his comment said Tyrone, the head of the DOJ, is protecting Biden by not releasing the laptop. ABC, listen, they ain't shit on that motherfucking laptop, you jackass. They've done it, investigated that like. Shut the fuck up,
you goddamn idiot.
They've done had hearings on that laptop for over a fucking year, and there was nothing on that goddamn laptop. What the fuck?
Then why did they introduce it in court then?
Because y'all wanted something to talk about.
You're just ignoring it, aren't you?
And listen, all that shit on the laptop was Russian disinformation. They locked the motherfucker up that was lying about the goddamn laptop. Sarge?
There was an admission that he was a drug addict, dummy.
Sarge, you see,
They used it to convict him.
Sarge, you see what happened to Giuliani, right? What's going on with him?
So now you got to change the subject, huh? What is he been convicted of?
Well, no. The reason why I bring him up is because he's getting charged with the fake electors and all this other stuff.
Yeah,
right?
we're gonna see about that one. Yeah, let's see how that goes.
This is.
Yeah, I know about that.
Bringing him
Yeah,
up.
I know about that.
No. This is the point. This is the point of me bringing up. Yeah, now you know about it, but you also know that he was the one that brought that fake information from Ukraine. Remember?
What fake information?
About trying to find dirt on Hunter Biden on Hunter Biden so for the election.
You mean the stuff that's on the laptop, right?
No,
yeah,
listen.
we know about that.
Listen about when Donald Trump got impeached for the first time. Rudy Giuliani brought that information back to Donald Trump about there was some kind of bullshit.
And much of that has been verified or at least corroborated as probable cause evidence.
No, the fuck it hasn't. So what the fuck is wrong with you?
Okay, here's what he bought back. What he bought back was, first of all, you didn't have to bring shit back. You got Joe Biden bragging about it on a goddamn videotape, how he got the prosecutor fired who was investigating his son.
Let me explain this.
I'm
sorry.
investigating to get that.
I'm gonna mute you for 1 second. So I'll mute you for 1 second. The reason that we know Rudy Giuliani, that was bullshit from Ukraine that he bought back, right? Is because Donald Trump got impeached for that very thing. Now, impeachment is a process of revealing evidence and presenting information to the fucking goddamn committees or whatever the fuck the impeachment goddamn court or whatever you want to call it. And not one goddamn time did they present any information and validate any information from Rudy Giuliani and trying to bring up this dirt on fucking Hunter Biden in the Ukraine. So when Sarge said that it was valid, that's a lie because it would have came out in the goddamn impeachment. But Donald Trump
what
did
happened
get
in the impeachment trial in the Senate, sir? The impeachment is an indictment, like a grand jury. What happened in the trial?
Did you hear did the information come out about Hunter Biden in the impeachment? Sorry.
Sir, you was making a big deal out he was impeached. Now I'm making a big deal out of the trial. What happened?
I'm talking about the information that Joe just brought. That Jay just brought.
Never mind, you ain't got the answer.
Okay. Whatever. All right. So Rudy Giuliani, he just got processed in Arizona. I didn't know that. For the fake elector scheme, which goes back to what we've been saying to these idiots like Sarge the entire time. All of this claim of election fraud, all of these claims of these 2,000 mules. There was some news about 2,000 mules recently too. All of these claims about the election being stolen and all that kind of bullshit. The fact that Rudy Giuliani is getting fucking processed in Arizona shows you that you're an idiot, Sarge, because you was believing the fucking lie. The lie that Rudy Giuliani told you.
I still believe it. I know damn well it's not a lie. In fact, I'll debate you any motherfucking day of the week on that shit. And I will kick your ass. Let me know when you're ready, nigga. Let me know when you're ready.
Oh, God.
Hold on. Just to finish off, let's not forget. Listen, Giuliani also has to pay millions of dollars to those women. Remember, Sarge? Remember? He found
that was a specific thing that he could not corroborate. I'm not even saying it's not true. If he'd had the videos that I'm looking at right now, he probably could have prevailed.
Well, the judge in the case thinks different than you.
Wait, Howard, he said that if he had the video. Hold on. He said he had the video.
No, if he had him, he didn't have him. I got him on my computer.
No, but this is what I'm saying. You have him, and he's a fucking lawyer, and he got all this pull in the fucking government, and he don't have him?
They weren't available at the time. I don't believe they were available at the time.
Now. Why don't you?
Okay.
Lying ass Sarge caught in another lie.
He's got him now. He's working on it.
Sarge caught in another
lie. You think it's gonna happen right away?
Okay.
You debate me, and I will play those fucking tapes for you.
Okay, hold on. Let Elisa go. Go ahead, Elisa, and then Mama's boy. I think that's you. I'm gonna get you after that.
And Tyrone, you said that you didn't know that Giuliani had got served Arizona.
Right.
You didn't know that? Oh, well, you missed it.
Case
How
number
he got
2.
served? how he got served. He was antagonizing Arizona, telling us y'all not going to do this and y'all not going to do this, that. And he had a birthday party wherever that he was at. And they was publicizing where the birthday was going to be at. It was, Florida. And they was publicizing, they was doing a live stream of the birthday party. And he had these old big books, some women all around him, and they was happy birthday. And they was just doing the most. And the state of Arizona, I don't know if it was the marshal or the state police, they had them waiting outside the door of the house. They said he in there, because they said that's where he having the party. They're live now, and they knocked on the door, and the people let him in. And then when he left out, they served him right there. That show you how dumb he is.
Yeah.
That was the dumbest thing. How y'all going to antagonize that? Yeah, come get me, come find me. Now they went straight to that birthday party and served him. But that just shows you how extra dumb America's mayor was. And the people who was at the party was upset that they didn't have to treat him like that because of his age. Yeah, they should have treated him like that because it was stupid and it was embarrassing how he got served. How you going to antagonize people and they standing right outside the door? So that was terrific how he got served. But that's all I want to say.
Hey, I got a question for Tyrone and Sarge.
Well, let me do this right here, right quick. Here's the article, guys, about him getting processed Monday. It said Rudy Giuliani processed in Arizona on a fake elector scheme to overturn Trump's 2020 loss to Joe Biden. And then it said Rudy Giuliani, the former New York mayor and Donald Trump's attorney, was processed Monday in a criminal case over the efforts to overturn the Trump's Arizona election loss to Joe Biden in Maricopa County, the sheriff's office said. The sheriff's office provided a mugshot, but with no other details. The office of the clerk of the Superior Court of Maricopa County said Giuliani posted a $10,000 cash bond. Mayor Giuliani, the most effective federal prosecutor in U.S. history, will be fully vindicated, said the spokesperson, Ted Goodman. This is yet another example of partisan actors weaponizing the criminal justice system to interfere with the 2024 presidential election through outlandish charges against President Trump and anyone willing to take on a permanent Washington political class. Giuliani pled not guilty in May to 9 felonies stemming from his alleged role in the fake electors effort. He is among 18 people indicted in the Arizona case, including Trump's attorney John Eastman, Christine Bobb, Jenna Ellis, and former presidential chief of staff Mark Meadows, and Trump 2020 election day operations director Michael Roman pled not guilty Friday in Phoenix to 9 felony charges for their alleged roles in the scheme. The indictment alleges Mark Meadows worked with other Trump campaign members to submit names of fake electors from Arizona and other states to the Congress in a bid to keep Trump in office despite the November 2020 defeat. Other states where criminal charges have been filed related to the fake elector schemes are Michigan, Nevada, and Georgia. Now, and let me just say this about this, him being processed. Sarge came on here and argued with me about these fake electors. I told him that they was illegal. Sarge said that there was a legal way that anybody off the goddamn street can submit their name as an elector in a goddamn state and be counted. No, these people are chosen.
You lying motherfucker! I never said it is that goddamn thing.
Yeah, I'm not gonna talk. Let me let Elisa go. And then, Mama Boy hung up. Go ahead.
I had a question, Tyrone.
Wait a minute. Tyrone, I think Antoinette has been trying to say something for a minute. I don't think you can hear her.
Oh, okay.
Yes, I was. Thank you.
Well, go ahead.
Thank you, Elisa. The question that I had was regarding Hunter Biden's laptop. Now, how would they obtained it? Just by them going in it, and I'm asking a question. Was that illegal? And then for them to release the information, wasn't that a violation of his rights, of his privacy rights?
I think it was.
I'm asking that question.
Because he's suing Fox and he's suing other people because of that information that was released.
Yeah, I mean, because I thought that was a privacy violation.
Sarge, you can answer that, Sarge. You know.
Well, no, Howard wanted to go.
How can you sue someone when they're reporting on public information about what others have said? That's not possible.
I think she's
Okay,
talking,
hold on.
I think she's talking about the laptop. I think she's talking about that laptop when they.
Yes, that's what I was.
The possession of it. The possession of it.
Over. How they turned it over.
Okay, the possession of it, it came into possession of a man who had a lien on it because the work he did on it was not performed. It became his property, and everything on it was also his property when you obtain something that is a lien. Now, you can argue that the contents of a hard drive are private, but since they are basically inseparable from the hard drive, I don't know how that's going to hold up in court, unless, of course, you format the hard drive.
Okay, so we got that.
There's no obligation in the law for anybody to format anything that they own.
Okay, so here, April the 30th, 2024, Fox News pulls down a series as Hunter Biden threatens lawsuit. Now, the reason that I'm pulling this up is because if what Sarge was saying was true, Fox News would leave up the fucking series. When Hunter Biden is going to sue them for information found on the goddamn laptop, because it's his personal goddamn shit. Like Sarge just alluded to, trying to talk out both sides of his neck again. The laptop was the shop owners, but the shit that was on those goddamn hard drive belonged to goddamn Hunter Biden. As far as finance records, as far as pictures, as far as whatever the fuck was on that goddamn laptop belonged to Hunter Biden. Yeah. So
how do they belong to him and he couldn't get it back?
Okay,
how does that information belong to him and he can't get it back?
Okay,
if it
shut
belongs
up.
to him, he should have been able to get it back from him.
Sorry, there's laws in this goddamn country against shit like that.
You just answered the question I just asked.
God
you just said the information on the hard drive was still Hunter Biden. So then why couldn't he sue to get them back from the laptop mechanic?
Okay, you read the lawsuit. I'm gonna let Mama's boy talk. Go ahead, Mama's boy.
Hey, I heard well, can y'all hear me?
I can hear you. Okay, sorry, stop talking. Let Mama's boy go.
Okay,
am I gonna ever get my question out, Tyrone?
Oh.
Well, let Howard go and then Mama's boy. Go ahead, Howard. I'm sorry.
Thank you. I had a question for Sarge and you. Sarge, what is your candidate's policies? Can you give us a rundown on your candidate's policy? And Tyrone, what is your candidate's policies? Can you give us a rundown on that?
That's
Go
a pretty
ahead.
broad question. I can tell you every one of his his policies that I'm aware of.
Well, I mean, damn, he's been running for goddamn 10 years. You should be.
Well, actually, it's not 10 years. It's more like 8, but okay.
Yeah, it's 10, motherfucker.
Look, okay. One thing that's his primary policy, I think, at this time are actually two. One, to secure the border as he had it when he was president, before Biden unsecured it, at least, and deport millions of illegal aliens. That's what he said. I don't ask him about the specifics. Don't ask me. Number two, to achieve energy independence. And three, to reduce inflation. Those are three of his primary goals. He's got many more, though.
How does he plan on the energy thing? What's his plan on that?
How's he plan on doing what?
Energy. You said did you say reducing energy or whatever it is? Energy.
By creating policies that encourage oil companies to take advantage of the vast oil reserves that we've discovered that under present estimates are available for 500 years of total energy independence at present rates of consumption. That's what.
So does he plan on rolling back?
He's talking this pie-in-the-sky electric vehicle bullshit.
Does he plan on rolling
Biden's not
back?
doing that.
Does he plan on rolling back environmental regulations? Yes or no?
I'm sure he plans on rolling back many of them. I hope he does.
Oh, okay. All right. Cool. All right, that's all you know.
Okay,
about
so we're gonna let Mama's boy go, but just to touch on, we already know that Joe Biden is talking about the economic plan, the infrastructure plan, I don't know. He's going to increase the tax rate.
Fair Housing Act. Don't forget the Federal Fair Housing Act. You're gonna like that, don't you?
He's going to increase the tax rate on the rich so they can pay a fair share, a fairer share, of taxes, and not tax anybody below $400,000. I think it was. But go ahead, Mama boy.
And forget the student loans
Okay,
of
shut
all
the
these
fuck
liberal
up.
arts majors who majored in transgender artists in Transylvania.
Okay, so well, hold on, Mama boy. I'm going to answer Howard's question about Donald Trump's energy policy. Right? Donald Trump was giving a speech this week, and he said that he do not like electricity. And if he had a choice between electricity and getting eaten by a shark, he would get eaten by the shark, and he wouldn't get electrocuted because
I think you're lying again, Tyrone. I don't trust a damn word you say because you distort everything.
Okay, well, I'll find it. I'll find it.
That made the news.
I don't believe you.
I'll find it. Well, let Mama's boy talk while I find it.
Well, damn, man. Yeah. Let me get in here. Well, our first thing I want to say, and I got something for y'all on Joe Biden. Y'all just hold on a second. But first thing I wanted to say is I heard it was alluded to that Joe Biden was bragging about getting the prosecutor removed. And yes, he was on behalf of the United States. He was talking shit because Barack Obama and the country sent his ass over there to get rid of that prosecutor. That was the whole fucking reason why he went over there. They wasn't going to get that shit by virtue of the United States sent Joe Biden over there to do it. Not Joe Biden did it on his own. They sent him as an emissary to say, hey, look, get rid of the motherfucker or you ain't getting a dime. And so for conservatives to use that as if Joe Biden went over there like a fucking mob boss and did it on his own is disingenuous. Now, let's talk about Joe Biden and oil. What y'all don't know, because I don't hear y'all talking about it, and I just found out myself, Joe Biden got the oil prices brought down. How did he do it? Well, he sold 500 million barrels of the strategic reserve and made a profit and caused OPEC to have to drop their price of oil because Joe Biden put 500 million barrels in the market and drove the price down. Since you want to talk shit about Joe Biden, talk about that, motherfucker, since you know so much. Peace, y'all.
Oh, yeah, I'm ready to talk about it, goddammit. You motherfucking right I am.
And they never mentioned me. I'm up here. If anybody gets tired...
How about it, Tyrone?
Oh, what'd you say? I had my mic on mute. What'd you say?
Yeah, he went and dipped into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve, which is intended for use in national emergencies, particularly by the armed forces of the United States. And when you consider the fact that the United States uses over 20 million barrels of petroleum a day, that's good for about a month. That's nonsense. It has no effect on the cost of petroleum. I know that when when Donald Trump was president, I was paying less than $2 a gallon of gasoline when I used my Kroger discount in Georgia. Under $2 a gallon. That's nonsense.
Okay. Well, I mean, Sarge, you're lying right now because I remember having a conversation with you about
Now you want to tell me I'm lying again, nigga? How much you want to bet? I'll give you the price of oil. I'll tell you what. We'll go to Kroger and we'll see what the price of oil was with a 30-cent a gallon discount in August of 2019. Why don't we?
No, I'm saying
you give me $1,000. If I'm wrong, I'll give you $1,000.
Okay, hold on. Okay,
every time you got
okay.
gas.
So,
What do you say? What do you say?
I say you should hush. Hold on for a second. Listen, Sarge.
You full of shit. That's why, because you know I'm right.
Sarge, listen. I got to mute you for a second. I'm saying you lying about your position because when Donald Trump was president, And you said one of the methods that he could use in order for the gas to go down was to go into the fucking reserve, Sarge. So now that you're saying that that Joe Biden is using it somehow or another, that's fucking goddamn sacrilege or some bullshit. Y'all full of shit. Even on Fox News, Sean Hannity, and even back in the Rush Limbaugh days, they were saying that Donald Trump can use the goddamn strategic reserves to bring the goddamn gas prices down. But now that I don't know if Joe Biden is doing it or not. But now that if he is doing it, y'all screaming fucking Bloody Mary is hypocritical.
Check my file, Tyrone. You can look it up right now.
You ain't never in your whole goddamn life ever heard me say one goddamn word about dipping in the strategic petroleum reserve for anything other than a national emergency. You are lying like that.
I am not lying. Hold on for a minute.
I never said anything like that. I never have.
Hold on. We're going to listen to Donald.
Not once.
Here's a report on Donald Trump energy policy. So hold on.
Hold
on for a second.
Can you ever argue honestly?
Hold on for a second. We're going to see what Donald Trump said about his energy policy.
Now, look, I'm very sorry. Before the break,
I said I didn't say it.
Homelessness,
Hush.
but it turns out that the grab we wanted to show you has gone missing. It is homeless itself. So we brought you the second best thing, which is a Trump speech. Joe.
You lie and you know it, Caleb. We ditched it because we found the greatest ever speech ever given by any human being ever. This is Donald Trump at a rally in Las Vegas for no apparent reason whatsoever, talking about what would happen if a submarine was attacked by a shark. Have a look.
So I said, let me ask you a question. And he said, nobody ever asked this question. And it must be because of MIT, my relationship to MIT. Very smart. He goes, I say, what would happen if the boat sank from its weight and you're in the boat and you have this tremendously powerful battery and the battery's now underwater and there's a shark that's approximately 10 yards over there. By the way, a lot of shark attacks lately. Do you notice that? A lot of shark.
Yep.
I watched some guys justifying it today. Well, they weren't really that angry. They bit off the young lady's leg because of the fact that they were not hungry, but they misunderstood who she was.
Stay focused, Donald. Back to the boat.
He said there's no problem with sharks. They just didn't really understand a young woman swimming now really got decimated and other people.
I agree with you, Donald, but this is about the boat.
So there's a shark 10 yards away from the boat.
Thank you.
10 yards. Or here. Do I get electrocuted if the boat is sinking, water goes over the battery, the boat is sinking? Do I stay on top of the boat and get electrocuted? Or do I jump over by the shark and not get electrocuted? Because I will tell you, he didn't know the answer. He said, you know, nobody's ever asked me that question. I said, I think it's a good question. I think there's a lot of electric current coming through that water. But you know what I'd do if there was a shark or you get electrocuted? I'll take electrocution every single time.
Yes! Yes! I love that man so much. It's amazing. So
there you have presidential candidate.
The preference to being electrocuted over being eaten by a shark, and you think that's problematic somehow?
Okay, so let's put it in context.
What's problematic?
Wait a minute, hold on. Let's put it in context. This man is running for the highest fucking office, political office on the goddamn planet. And he's sitting up here for no goddamn reason talking about a shark attacking a goddamn submarine, and what his preference would be, would we rather get electrocuted or eaten by the goddamn... Nobody gives a fuck. The shark would probably spit that orange sour motherfucker out any goddamn way. But sorry, this is ludicrousy. It's craziness. Why the fuck are you supporting this guy? Who's this unknown caller?
Hey, Tyrone. What's up, guys?
Hey, what's up? What
you think you should have expressed a purpose of being eaten by the shark rather than be electrocuted? Then, goddammit, don't vote for him, okay?
No, this is what I think. I think that he should have been talking about American policies and what he was going to do for the American people and how his presidency was going to benefit the people of this goddamn country. We don't give a fuck whether or not he talking about submarines and motherfucking orca the goddamn whale. Sorry, that's stupid. And you stupid for following.
Hey, Tyrone. To express the need for a preference, you bloody idiot.
Okay.
Hey, Tyrone, then don't vote for him. I understood what he was trying to say.
That was Las Vegas, wasn't it, Tyrone? That was Las Vegas, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That Las Vegas is where he said, I don't give a fuck about y'all. I just want your vote. Ain't that where he said that?
Yeah, he said that too. You want me to pull that up too, Sarge?
Play that, please. Play that.
I'm gonna put it up, but let Joe go while I find that one.
Why you pull
Yeah,
that
then
up?
you need to start playing some of Joe Biden's quotes. How about what he was doing in June?
Oh, there we go with
Let's
that
hear
tit for
that
tat shit.
nonsense.
Here we go with tit
Yeah,
for
now
tat.
why don't you play all of it?
Go ahead, Joe.
Yeah, can we talk about the Strategic Petroleum Reserve for a minute? Because what Sarge doesn't seem to quite understand is it has long past changed missions from when it was originally developed. It was developed in response to the Arab oil embargo in the 70s. We're no longer in that state. We don't have those same conditions. And it's roughly 1 billion barrels of oil. And they let oil out of it all the time. Why? Because they want to know that if there indeed is an emergency, they want to know that the system works, right? So for those who don't know, they store this oil in salt domes, basically in natural salt domes, because oil and salt does not mix. So they hollow it out with water and they pump oil into it, right? So, and they cap it. And it's all over East Texas and Southern Louisiana. And the terminal that they do is called St. James Terminal. That's in Texas, if I remember right. Near Fort Sulphur. But the bottom line is they can take oil out anytime they want because they're constantly putting oil in. They're constantly cycling that oil. You can't just store it down and hope it's going to be good. You have to know it's going to be good. And that means you have to sell off some and bring some new oil in. So it's not a big deal, Sarge. It ain't like you taking from the reserves of the country and you're going to hurt it. No. The original mission, again, was in response to the Arab embargo, of the 70s. Now we're not in that era anymore. We're not doing that anymore. Now it's just oil that's left in reserve. And it's more than 30 days now. Originally, the original intent was to power the military to take over another country within 30 days if all the oil was shut off. But we're no longer under those conditions.
Isn't that breeze nice?
So it's not a problem for Biden to take some out. It's not a problem at all. In fact, it's a wise move.
I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care.
And I
Well,
just
I don't
wanted
agree with
to
that
say,
at all. And I would say to you that any as long as the petroleum isn't refined, it can keep indefinitely. I don't know why it has to be pumped out in order to fulfill some politician's temporary agenda because he's allowed petroleum prices to go up so exponentially. That's all that was. It was transparent, naked, political gambling, and it didn't fool anybody who understands what the purpose of the Strategic Petroleum Reserve is.
That's
Sarge,
bullshit.
you can go on the DOE's website and read it for your fucking self. I mean, this stuff is not like
I
secret
already
information.
have, and I'm saying I
right?
reject that argument. I just reject it. I don't believe it.
You can reject it if you want, but it's there in black and white, bro. I mean,
Facts
that's
are
the
facts.
thing.
you can reject anything you want to, Sarge. It doesn't
Yeah,
make it.
anything you want. You
That doesn't make
yeah, you can.
Well, you guys reject
reject
almost
this
everything
reality.
I say. Be my guest. You can reject anything you want. I just want to respond to what you say, just as you do to me. I don't believe it.
You can reject this
Speaking of
reality
rejecting-
and substitute it. Yeah, you can substitute this reality with whatever reality you want. But at the end of the day,
All right,
bottom
it was a
line
political
is
gambit by a
there's nothing
corrupt
good
politician.
about
That's
it.
what I believe.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of rejection,
Well, okay, so what?
I just looked up the average 2018 average price of gas per gallon in Georgia, and by the U.S. Energy Information Administration, and it says it was approximately between $2.60 to $2.70 per gallon. Someone on this line said it was under.
Did you not just hear me say with my Kroger discount of 60 cents a gallon? What
Oh,
you
now
got
you
gas in your fucking ear?
Now you went from 30 cent to 60 cent. Yeah,
Oh, you don't listen to what I say. That's your problem.
You went from 30 to 60, so now you at 60.
They have ranges of discounts. Everybody gets a 3-cent discount at the pump. Depending on how much you spent over the month, you can get anywhere from a 30 to 60-cent discount per gallon. Depending on your expenses.
Okay. Listen.
I didn't feel like going on that detail.
What the fuck?
Your ass be lying, boy.
Hello.
Like a motherfucker.
Hello. Listen. Okay, listen. Let's go ahead and ask Sarge. What do you think about his comment where he told his supporters that he don't care about them? He just want their vote.
Wait a minute, what do you say?
What do you think about Donald Trump's comment where he told his supporters at the rally that he don't care about them He just want their vote.
Okay, I don't believe he said that. You're lying again like you always do about what he says.
Okay,
I don't believe he said it.
Okay,
If he
so
said it, he torpedoed himself politically.
okay, so
That's
here.
like some stupid idiot Biden would say in an unguarded moment.
Okay, so here, listen, and then you respond.
By the way, isn't that breeze nice? Do you feel the breeze? Because I don't want anybody going on me. We need every voter. I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care. See, now the press will take that and they'll say he said a horrible thing.
Okay, now he said it. Now what you think?
Yeah, he's exactly right, too. He didn't care about the person that was heckling him. God
He did not say, what the fuck?
Whether he heckles him or not.
Did anybody? There was nobody heckling him. Let me play it again. Maybe I'm crazy. Hold on.
There was. I know that. Oh, you didn't play that whole thing in context. He was getting heckled before that.
You said you didn't know about it though, so hold on.
No. It reminded me of what it is now. Now I remember.
Anybody going on me. We need every voter. I don't care about you. I just want your vote. I don't care.
The guy was heckling
the
him.
press will take that and they'll say he said a horrible thing.
No, nobody's heckling him. All right, so hold on for a second. Let me see who's gonna.
Don't vote for him, then, Tyrone.
All right, so
Tyrone, I think.
Well, hold on,
Yeah,
Joe.
I
Let
think
me
that,
see who this caller is right quick. Who's this caller?
Miss Lady.
Okay, Miss Lady, you got to let Joe go, and then you can go after Joe. Go ahead, Joe.
Now, I was going to say, I think that discount card that he was talking about, Kroger gives you, I think they give it to people for being a lying sack of shit. You know, that's just my estimation.
Yeah, like your mama, you motherfucker.
All right, so we're gonna let Miss Lady go. Welcome to the show, Miss Lady.
I'm glad Joe spoke up about the oil reserves because that was good. I had forgotten about that. But you know what? I just want to play 30 seconds of what Trump is focused on. Okay.
Okay.
Oh gosh, let me see. I gotta go back. I think it's some dementia really set me in. Okay, here we go.
That's the Baby Shark song. Oh my goodness, that's funny.
Daddy shark, daddy shark. He's focused on sharks. Okay, that's what he's focused on, and not immigration, not the economy, not jobs, not the corporations buying up all the housing, not people's fear for the future, not about the AI getting ready to take over, get rid of 40% of the jobs in about 10, 15, 20 years. That's what he's focused on.
That's funny. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why Sarge is doubling down on this idiot. He gets proven wrong.
Well, some people go down with the Titanic. They want to go down. So hey, what can you do?
I don't know, it's so easy to refute every stupid thing y'all say, because as a matter of fact, you got no case. You just distort things and then think it's the truth. But you never sit still to somebody report point by point why what you're saying is not true and bears no relationship to the facts.
And there's allegedly they want to investigate Kushner and his daughter for all that Saudi dealings they got, setting up that, steering all of those billions in contracts and deals to Kushner's company. So you might want to check that.
Finally, they want to do it. They should have been did that.
Yeah, that's the problem with the Democrats is that they wait too long. Even though the law is getting broken right in front of their face, they're waiting too long. Now they waited till Hunter Biden get charged or whatever. Now they want to go after Kushner. No, Kushner been broke the fucking law.
What they say, Tyrone, the wheels of justice grind slowly.
No, I don't. But the Democrats is full of crap with this one. They just are. Yeah. We know that he got $2 billion from the Saudis. We know that they was enriching themselves while they was in the White House. We know Ivanka Trump was selling her fucking products and made deals with China while she was in the White House. All that stuff was against the law.
It is not against the law for that man who has a proven track record of managing sovereign wealth funds of nations to get the fees he got. They are completely in line with doing that sort of thing. He was managing the sovereign wealth fund of Saudi Arabia, and he was compensated for doing something, unlike Hunter and Joe Biden, who did nothing but sell access to the office of Vice President of the United States.
All right, so guys, what y'all need to know is to work in that level of the White House, you need a security clearance. And Jared Kushner was disqualified from getting a damn security clearance. But we're gonna let Sarge.
He didn't get security clearance to work in a sovereign wealth fund that Saudi Arabia allowed him to do.
That is
All he
so
had to do
funny.
was be registered properly in accordance with the State Department, which he was. You're making a mountain out of a molehill while ignoring the mountain of corruption that the Biden family was involved in, according to the evidence on the laptop that you choose to disdain.
Okay.
Yeah, so Tyrone, let's get this right now. Here's a local New York real estate guy, which is what Jared Kushner was, because he got it from his father. All of a sudden, becomes a facilitator for a Saudi wealth fund. That's a mighty big jump from local New York real estate, because he's a slumlord. So
you're admitting then that he had a job that actually did something to earn the money. Good. Now, if you find something
no, that's not the point.
That's why he's whoa.
Right now you got
That's why
nothing
his
but your
father.
speculation.
That's why his father was in jail for it.
No, in addition to that, sorry, come on, man.
Father on the son. Gee, you have trouble with me when I do it, don't you?
Sorry, listen. In addition to that, Jared Kushner was not qualified. He was He was unqualified to be even in that position to be working with other countries on behalf of the government.
Like Hunter Biden, he was qualified to be a chairman on Burisma, right, and all those other boards.
Clearly, he was. He didn't.
EFC in China.
Nigga, he didn't get the trouble for being a chairman on Burisma because he was qualified to be there. You fucking moron. Jared Kushner did not have a security clearance, and he was disqualified from working with those other goddamn countries in the manner for the United States of America that he was. Sorry, that's just a fact. You can't compare the two.
Spare me your sanctimony. You're as full of shit as a Christmas goose. We know what time it is with you and your Trump deranged ass.
Plus, Hunter Biden never worked. Hunter Biden never.
Biden's been accused of.
Hunter Biden never had a job in the White House.
Here.
Hunter Biden never had a job in the White House.
Hey, Tyrone, I'm reading here that the fund that was sold, the advisory panel had concerns about the inexperience and other aspects of Kushner's new firm, but these concerns were overridden by the Crown Prince, which was a good friend, Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman, which was a good friend of Trump and Kushner, and he overrode the firm actually didn't want to do it, and he overrode it. So, but it doesn't seem like it's illegal yet. They got to look into it, but it doesn't seem.
It isn't illegal yet. You better come up with something better than that.
And that's the same one that had that Khashoggi mutilated over there.
Howard, what you got to look for is the amount of money that Jared Kushner earned off of those countries. You got to start going that way, because whenever there's a certain amount of money you can get from other countries, right? And Jared Kushner got way over that amount, and the methods that he was using to get that money was on behalf of the United States of America. You got to look from that angle.
Yeah. Yeah, he should have took a Porsche and $5 million in a ring, like he got $5 million from that widow of the Moscow mayor. That's what he should have done.
No, what they should do is look into how the Saudis were major real estate buyers for Trump Tower itself. Hello?
Absolutely. And they're supposed to allegedly maybe put up golf courses over in Saudi Arabia, as well as they're talking about all that beachfront property in Gaza.
and how they can put up wealthy real estate for the wealthy on the beach.
Tyrone, the sound is going in and out real bad.
Computerized. Sound computer.
I tell you, this is a cold world. It really is. It's cold. It can be heartless.
Well, this time period right here is showing us how the wealthy and the rich and the powerful and the elite really get down. Because, you know, we talking about Trump, but if you look at the Supreme Court justices and all of their corruption that's going on right now, you can see that they don't give a shit. You don't see, they don't care about rules. They don't care about laws. They just do whatever the hell they want to do. And then they want to hold all of us to account. They want to, I heard a good comment the other day about Justice Alito. And it was that he want to tell women how to control their bodies, but he can't control his own wife from flying flags certain ways and acting the fool out there.
Oh Lord, now he's supposed to control his wife. And you want to bring up the handmaiden's tale again?
But these are the same people that are trying to control women across the fucking nation. So yeah, he should control his fucking wife. If he want to reach into the lives of women across America, yes, that's a woman living right there in his goddamn house. She shouldn't disrespect the goddamn
court. You guys sure as hell are selective with your so-called principles. Do whatever's convenient for you and your agenda.
And I don't. Did y'all hear those audios from the justices?
Yeah, I heard them.
Yeah, that's just fucking shameful, man.
Oh, and then Tyrone.
Alito, get back in that kitchen, Alito, and make me a sandwich.
Is that right? That's what ABC runs.
Some of the right wing, they was trying to find fault with Ketanji Brown, who disclosed 4 tickets that Beyonce and them sent to her, mainly for her daughter and her daughter's friends, and she disclosed them. And all of that money, that all those favors that Thomas took from them old billionaires, and they jumping on that because she
some tickets.
4 tickets. 4 Beyonce tickets.
That's crazy.
That she disclosed, and that was most likely for her daughters, and probably 2 of their friends.
That is nuts. That don't even compare to the corruption that Thomas and Alito is doing right now. And we don't even know. We don't even know about the Kavanaugh and Comey Barrett and the rest of those conservatives, what they're doing. But I guess it'll come out eventually.
Hopefully it will. But at least Ketanji disclosed hers 4 Beyonce tickets to the Beyonce concert. And that's a problem. And we're all of them mouth shut on Thomas and the rest of them. Mm-hmm. And then Thomas had put out a statement, I think it was last week, that, well, yeah, maybe I should have disclosed. Oh, you think? Or you think? You were supposed to.
Well, it's just like you were saying.
Go ahead.
I was going to say, it's just like Tyrone was saying earlier. We have a corrupt government, and the covers are being pulled off. And all of us are like, oh, shit. But it's probably been like this for a long time, man. We got a fucking corrupt government. We need to learn which way we need to go next. How can we get rid of this shit?
And, you know, wealthy,
I think it's a little
the
worse
wealthy
than that, Howard.
and the corporations are behind a lot of this corruption.
Yep.
They put people in places, be it judges, justices, Congress people, you know, to get what they want.
Well, I
And
think
that's
it's worse
really
than
a blend of that much power. Like Elon Musk is going to get his $46 billion benefit package. Tesla stock has gone down. A judge just certified a big class action lawsuit for thousands of black people that have been discriminated against at Fremont, California, at that plant out there. This just came out recently, and I mean, and this has been going on for years, and it hasn't been handled. I'm talking hanging nooses in the bathroom, the N-word scrawled in the bathroom, Black people given the most difficult jobs, mistreated on the job, not promoted, just all kinds. Ooh. They even had a veteran who had post-traumatic stress from being in the war, and some folks had downloaded ringtones of bombs blasting off and would play it so he could be traumatized while he's trying to work. I mean, it's unbelievable that he's getting this $46 billion package because I guess the board approved it. His brother's on the board and a close friend and who knows what else. And that's just too much money and power. And so now you have a blend of private, wealthy individuals, corporations, they're getting contracts with the U.S. government and maybe state governments as well. So now you just have so much embedded. There's, a symbiotic relationship going on so that, it's pretty much close to fascism.
It is. I agree.
Yeah, society is paying the price of these corporations because they're able to do the housing is going out of fucking gone crazy. The damn groceries is going crazy.
It's all about them envelopes to keep them away from regulating corporations. It's the same thing with this immigration, right? They're not regulating the corporations for all these immigrants that they employing for cheap labor and not adjusting the pay for the U.S. citizen. Corporations, hand them an envelope with that money, stay away from me. Social media, same shit. We see it with social media. They taking checks, putting all this propaganda, whether it's right or left. They're like, well, you know what? We're getting a check. Keep it like that, and hey, everybody's happy while the world goes into hell.
Well, the whole energy has changed. I can feel it, see it. It's not the same anymore. Everybody's waking up. Well, some people are, and they see what's happened and what's happening, and they're very, very concerned for the future. I mean, people have for their own future, for the future of their family members, friends, their community, the country.
I agree. The whole world, actually, because you have APAC, Big Pharma, oil, military-industrial complex, all different corporations.
The media.
All of the politicians are bought and paid for. We vote for them, send them to
Except
Washington.
that little black woman isn't. That little black woman, what's her name, that stood up to...
A few of them aren't.
Jasmine Crockett.
A few of them aren't. Yeah, only a few of them aren't. But the majority,
the ones with the power that is cemented in there, I know.
They're not doing the job for the American people. They're doing the job for those who send the checks. And we need more people to wake up. Like Sarge over here is arguing for Trump. I don't like Biden, corporate Democrats. I don't like any of them either. But they're not doing the work for the American people. They're just not. They're doing it for the checks.
No, and you can draw a line down. You can draw a line down the political parties and see that one side is not like the other. Even though, like you saying, the Democrats ain't perfect, but they're nowhere near what
they're nowhere near those people.
They're nowhere near what the Republicans doing right now.
But there are differences. I agree. There's differences.
It's really sad. It's like, the country's being destroyed from within. It's not from foreign government or entity. It's being destroyed from within.
Go ahead, Joe.
Now, I was going to say this is a little different than corruption, because corruption is really about, seeking power or seeking money or both. This is corruption merged with a cult, merged with religion, and that's a really, really, potent and dangerous mix. Because think about this for a minute. Just take a step back for a minute. Whether you agree politically with Republicans or not, they are about to nominate a convicted felon, a twice impeached man, to be their party leader, and these guys are falling in line behind him like it's nothing. Think how crazy that is.
Oh, I know.
20 years ago, 20 years ago, if somebody would have said, that the Republican nominee for president in 2024 will be a convicted felon, that has been twice impeached, that led an insurrection, everybody would look at you like you was nuts, like you been smoking crack at your Hunter Biden. But the point is, that's about to happen. Can you imagine if George Washington?
You hear that noise?
Can you imagine? If George Washington was alive today, what he would be looking at them like, are y'all crazy? Y'all are about to nominate a convicted felon? There's nobody else in your party that you could put forward, but you got to take this guy. Unbelievable. So it's deeper than corruption. There's some kind of
I agree.
And the people that were he appointed in his cabinets and all, there's about 40 people that he was tied to that have been indicted or convicted or charged. It just makes no sense.
And they want to bring him back. That's the thing.
Well, I'm going to tell you, look.
I think all of us would prefer somebody other than Biden, too. But, Jesus, I'll vote back for Biden's shoes before I would. But they put this man up because y'all know what they're thinking he's going to give them, their way. Or he's going to usher in what they want. And a lot of people not thinking that might not be what y'all need.
Agenda 2025, they're going to usher that in. They're going to get rid of the Justice Department, the federal employees, and put in the people they want. They're going to dismantle the education, Department of Commerce. They're going to put in people who they want. They're going to roll back all civil rights, women's rights, probably the Violence Against Women's Act, probably FMLA, Family Medical Leave Act. It's going to be listen, have your passports ready. Have a plan.
Yeah, I don't see how women vote for the Republican Party. They don't care about women's rights whatsoever. I don't get it.
Well, maybe it's time for the experiment to be over. Maybe it's time for that. The experiment to find.
It sure didn't last long. It is. And for black people, it only lasted about how many decades? Really? Post Jim Crow. Maybe since the 60s? Maybe what? 70 years?
Late 60s. 70 years. About 70 years.
And it's still not right. So, this is sad. It doesn't take long to destroy something, does it? You can be destroyed overnight.
Mhm.
I think that's with everything. It takes a long time to build something, but to destroy it, you could destroy it in seconds. It takes 9 months to create a child, and you could destroy it in 1 minute. It's so many different things that you could look at. Just a second. Whether it's physical or mentally, if you're dealing with a human being, you could just give them an experience that will just destroy a person. You know what I mean?
There's I can't think of these guys. They're far right. Some of them use the platform that Candace Owens worked with. Some of them and some of the others. They're actually sitting around in leather chairs, smoking cigars, talking about how maybe having a dictator or some type of, like when we had a king and different things, how that would actually work, and maybe that's what this country needs. And I'm like, these people are sitting around talking about.
Oh yeah, they
this
want to
is
go
what
back
they
to
want.
the feudalism.
They want to go back to that.
Well, it's kind of almost that way with this corporatocracy because they have so much power and
They
control.
want
And,
the full.
and they
want
say, oh,
full
it's freedom
power.
of speech. Well, you can say what you want, but you might be fired. You may not be able to get another job. So, but they want, like you said, they want to take it even further.
They want to take it way
back to feudalism.
They don't want to pay no consequences for anything they do. Think about that. But they want to have it where they could put consequences on you, whoever that is.
They want to roll back that
them.
8-hour day work day too, and over 8 hours you get overtime. Well, they chipped away a lot of that, calling people contractors and saying you're a salary employee and not an hourly. But they're gonna get rid of that too.
But the thing is,
you're gonna be working. You're gonna be working. It's an agenda. They really want to be in a special elitist class, and everybody else are serfs and peasants, and you just have a small group to manage the peasants.
It's running things. But the men who were sitting around talking, they're not billionaires, and they're not even richy rich. And if we did go back to that type of society, they wouldn't like it either. But I don't think it really has so much to do
Yeah,
with
they're
that.
gonna get a taste of some negative.
They're gonna. If
too.
you're not a billionaire or an extreme richy rich, it's not going to be good for you either. As a matter of fact, it's not going to be good for the billionaires or the extreme richy rich. If everything was to be implemented, anyway. But the thing is, they're not thinking about how life is really going to be, and I don't think it really has to do with that. They're thinking Trump and the different things like that, the initiatives, different things that they're going to try to push through. Not so much about that. If they do not like
and Trump would take care of the immigrants. Only the immigrants and the black people and the brown people feel the negative effects. They're going to be okay. That's what they're thinking.
They're not thinking that. They're not going to be okay either. They're not going to be
White
okay
trash
either.
America too is gonna get hit hard. White trash America, poor white folks in the middle of America, even ones with a little bit of money, like you said. Right.
Middle class
you
is
think
going
that
to be
you
here
middle
too.
class? Right, you think you middle class and you white and you safe? Nah, you're gonna
They're going
be
to
in the
start
boat.
taking away some of those holidays too. Like, no more Martin Luther King, no more, whatever they can take back, because it's all about corporate greed. So you don't want to pay you if you're not working.
Because that's the thing they don't understand. Like in Russia, right? Like they're thinking Russian style. And Russian is, for the most part, is predominantly Russian white people, white colored people. Guess what? They have people living low class over there too. So you think that you're gonna be in that circle? Guess what? You go that direction and see where you're gonna end up at. You're gonna be
and that may be, you know what, as y'all speaking, that may be what we're preparing for, right? We talk about the corporations and you compare it to Russia, you got the oligarchs over there, right? So these people with the corporation may be trying to become the oligarchs whenever this thing do really go south. That's why everything is so high. They're just snatching up money.
But think about this. There's a portion of that society that is also Russian, right? But they're not getting those incentives, and in order for those oligarchs to exist, those people have to bust their ass and work in order for this shit to be sustained, right? So the thing is that they're not understanding that you're gonna be right with us in the bottom of the pit if you're not in that small circle of those billionaires that
if people on SARS level and ABC level thinking that they're gonna be a fucking oligarch, I mean they delusional. It ain't gonna
Oh,
happen.
live good. No, and just to think, maybe some of them don't think but their rent or the bills ain't gonna go out. Bro, you're gonna be incur all those and the taxes and everything. You're not gonna be saved from not paying all the high prices that everybody else is gonna have to pay while they sit back and live good.
It's not going to happen that way. So unless
And
you
you know
are
what?
really
They can roll back pensions. They can roll back what you get from your pensions. They can roll back including your military pension. Okay.
Yep.
And your military benefits.
That was on the chopping block one time when Donald Trump was in there was something mentioned about them attacking veterans' pay one time when Donald Trump was the president. I forgot what they
and
was gonna
Social Security and Medicare.
Yeah, that's gone. That's gone.
That's gone. That's gone. And they're gonna have their, the people they're in concert with to manage the Social Security funds and all of that stuff. Okay, they're gonna collect huge fees. And therefore, they're going to reduce the Social Security payments. Don't think that people think they're going to escape it, but they have family, they have friends. You think that's not going to impact them as well?
It's going to impact everybody if you're not rich.
Hey, Tyrone.
Go ahead, man.
I wanna throw something on the table about this oligarch nonsense, because these American billionaires don't want to be oligarchs. Trust me. What happens when somebody like Putin takes over a country like that? What they do is they go around to all the wealthy motherfuckers and say, "Are you with us? Or are you not?" And if they say they with them, they're gonna say, "Okay, you step down," and he's gonna put who he wants in charge of his business and take his money.
Yeah, we see that's the way it works. But these people too stupid to see that that's the way it works. They too politically blinded. I don't know what the fuck going on. I don't know why they subscribing wholeheartedly to this bullshit.
This is the crazy thing. There was a good documentary they did on Putin, right, and how he rose to power in different elements. And one of the things that a lot of people know about or don't know about is that he didn't have the money he had when he came in. He seized money from a lot of people that was his opposition or people that wasn't with him, or he felt like he didn't want to, have any loyalty to or whatever, because now he got in power. And he put those people in jail, and he was able to take their money, seize it, right, where he set it up in a legal way, and he got the money. He got the money. So if you think that you're going to be hanging around Trump, the minute that he gets in his bad mood, you could be ending up that victim.
That happens in this country. Don't think that some of these CEOs of these companies haven't had a visit. You gonna play ball.
We just have to hope that I don't know. We just have to see. But I don't think Trump is going to win. But still, with everything that they have set up to do, it's still going to take some time to beat that back, fight that back. We have to deal with the Democratic Party. Because too many of them are to be checked. They got to be dealt with. We got to get the people out of office. We really do. The corporate Democrats, they got to go. They got to go.
Yeah.
And they have to put term limits on the Supreme Court, and they need to expand. Yeah. They gotta go. Because Thomas is what is he's in his 70s, 80s, or whatever, and and so if he retires, they're gonna put another one like him up in there.
When they reelect Joe Biden.
And they'll be in their 40s. They'll be in their 40s, so they'll be sitting up there forever. And
And career
so
politicians do away with them.
yeah, except there's some really good ones like Bernie Sanders and Senator Whitehead, and
Like they should have a track record, right?
Yeah, they
Like
fighting
they
the
should
good
go by
fight.
their track record. They should go by their track record and say, like you said, like okay, damn, they've been in here since the years. They've been fighting for the people, and they've been showing results for the people. Then you can say, damn, and then he's right. Like he got sanity. He's older. He's able to do the job. He's competent. He has the experience, and he's doing his job. The minute they start wigging out, it says, listen, man, it's time for you to retire. But I think that when Joe Biden gets reelected, he needs to put them justices or shake that shit out of there, start making some different things. Is your last term, go full blast, so so this don't become a right-wing country when he leaves this damn office.
Well, that's going to require a Democratic House, a Democratic Senate, and a Democratic president, and you're going to have a super majority in the Senate. I'm telling you, them damn Republicans going to act a damn fool, and it's a constitutional amendment to add Supreme Court justices onto the court.
Mama's boy is probably going to take all of that and some bullets.
Oh, damn.
Oh, Lord.
So folks can't be sitting on their ass on this one. They really got to go vote, and they got to vote down the ballot, get rid of all those motherfuckers out of the state, motherfucker. And that's the only way you're going to get your shit back, get your life back.
Yeah. Yeah, Dems put that work in. All these people that's gonna be out there, pushing this envelope, and they got the position of power to get all this shit moving. They're gonna have to put. I'm gonna do my part as a U.S. citizen and vote. Right? That's all I could do. I'm not gonna tell you I'm gonna do this and that. I'll be plain and simple. I'm gonna vote. But all these people that are in position of power or have a little some power or that's moving things in the Democratic Party, y'all need to get this full blast like your life, like this is our life. You want Hitler or you want Sleepy Joe? You want Hitler or you want Sleepy Joe? I'm just saying, I'd rather deal with Sleepy Joe. I know that I'd rather deal with Sleepy Joe versus Hitler. I'm just saying, Hitler 2.0.
I agree. I don't want Joe Biden. I don't think any of us on this phone wanted Joe Biden, but he announced. But that's what it was. And that's the thing.
Well, we were talking earlier.
Yeah, when he first ran. But that's what it was, and that's what we went with. I don't want him now, but that's what it is, and that's what I'm going to have to go to. If they took his suit jacket and laid it across the chair and said that was Trump, I'm voting for the suit jacket. Because they give us a little time to try to see what we can do.
You going for the shark, sis? You going for the shark?
Yeah, I'm going. Yeah.
Well, on another, at the same time, this is another. In addition to what I said or what you were saying, is this: Democratic Party has to bring in people, younger people, better candidates, or younger, more vibrant. Because just like the Republicans, we have this old thinking, because you got the Bernie Sanders and a handful of really great older people that's there. They bring in a lot. They're still sharp. They're able to do it. They might not be walking and running as fast, but their mind is still moving, and they're doing things that help this country, right? So I don't think they should leave. But there's a lot of old baggage. There's a lot of old thinking that is not working, and it's just like a portion of the Republican Party. I'm just saying.
Can I make a statement? Can I make a statement real quick though? I don't know. I think Joe Biden get a bad rap. To me, Joe Biden is like the consummate boyfriend. You know what I'm saying? He does all the right shit, but he's boring. He's boring as fuck. And you soon to forget about him because he's so comfortable. He's boring. And the minute that you fucking break up with him and move on, that's the nigga you wish you still was with when you get with the new nigga who can't stop fucking everybody. So to me, that's how Joe Biden that's the rap he's catching. And it's because he's not exciting. He's not, he's not new. He's not fresh. He's old timey, but to me, he's like the dependable fucking dog. You know what I'm saying?
Who you talking about, Biden?
Yeah, he's the dependable dog. You don't notice he's there because he's doing it. He's running motherfuckers up out the yard.
He's a plain Jane. He's a plain Jane. And you know what? I agree with
beautiful.
you.
He ain't nothing beautiful. He the ugly ass golden retriever that got hair matted on him. Nobody fuck. But you can't bring your ass up in that yard and he giving the mailman hell.
He's gonna protect it.
Yeah. You know, and you get so comfortable with them that you almost, I always say, you almost branch out because the dog or whoever or whatever put anything in there gives you the comfortability to go looking around. If you didn't have, you know what I'm saying, if you didn't have that security there, you wouldn't be able to go looking for the grass is greener somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? You'd be too busy trying to fix plug holes and put somebody in there. He's just a damn good bus driver. That's it. And you know what? I didn't expect anything out of Joe Biden except to get us through the pandemic. And I wasn't looking for him to do nothing, be no spectacular ass cracker. He's a cracker. But guess what? He's a cracker that gives a fuck about the boat he's in. He ain't trying to sink the boat he's in. He's trying to at least keep that shit afloat. And we just happen to be in the same motherfucking boat with him. Trump is too damn reckless, too dangerous. He tipped the whole boat over with everybody in it. He don't give a fuck. He's exactly like Hamas. He will use the American people for his own motherfucking benefit. That's the way I feel about Trump. So I can't feel that way about Biden. He's too busy trying to save his own ass. Which,
I agree. I agree with that.
Well, Mama Boy, I think
lobbying. No, go ahead.
Yeah, he's trying to be a casual white man. I say he's a plain Jane. I respect that. Like, I don't expect him to be hanging out in, with everybody or coming to parties and jamming out. Like, he's doing his job. He goes home early. He's the type of guy that after work, he ain't going to the bar. He's going to sleep. All right, cool. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? I just think that the Democratic Party needs to get this shit popping a little bit more. I'm just saying, it takes a team. He's an older guy, as we say, but bring that young machinery out there, to make this overwhelm these people that think that they're going to take over this country and mess it up.
So you say that, Jay, that Joe is the Jane Hathaway.
Damn, Miss Lady, damn, Jane Hathaway. John, you funny.
Hey, but you know what though? You know what, Miss Lady? You can expect that if Jane Hathaway is in it, she gonna do her motherfucking job.
Yes, she is.
She gonna do her motherfucking job.
to the nth degree to do her job.
Hey, she gonna go for that Academy Award. You can bet that. Okay.
Yeah, one of the things though is
Joe, he might be out of touch. You don't know the latest gear, the latest fashions, and all that. We ain't expecting all that. Like, I think that
y'all just keep cutting Joe off like a mug. Y'all keep cutting that brother off.
Yeah, I was going to say, Trump being a narcissist will never allow anyone else to shine brighter than him. And this is the problem, and this is something I said to ABC and those guys, Saturday. Trump will never allow a strong black man to emerge while he is in power. It ain't never going to happen.
Well, you got Byron Donald that's going to come up the ladder, right?
No. Again, Yeah. Byron Donald's only reason that he's getting some kind of press is because he's trying to be VP. So he's parroting and mirroring what Trump says. If he was to come up with his own agenda that maybe runs counter to Trump, you would never hear from Byron Donald again. He would be primaried out. So the point being again is, Trump will never allow anyone of color to rise up and be as popular or more popular than he is. And that's a damn shame. You don't have that problem with Biden. Biden, because you got AOC basically, who's a super smart, woman. She is absolutely brilliant and way more brilliant than Joe Biden, and gives him fits from time to time, but he doesn't silence her. You have Ilhan Omar, he doesn't silence her either. So the point being, Biden at least knows not to get in his own way in regards to other people in his party. But Trump, either here his program or you're gone.
Let me see what this unknown caller is. Who's this unknown caller?
Big OC.
What's up, Big OC? Let me say this right here to ABC. Listen, you dummy. He's sitting in the chat room promoting Byron Donald, right? And talking about marriage was better up under Jim Crow. But whenever you say the term Jim Crow, you just got to remember that Jim Crow was the law. That was the policy. That was the standard. The segregation was the standard. So it doesn't matter what you did up under Jim Crow as a black person. You were never better then than you are now. That's just nuts. But go ahead, Big OC.
I think when we talk about this next election, how much money you think gonna be spent, for whoever wins this next presidency? $1 billion and a half.
Yeah. Usually a presidential election gonna yield at least $1 billion.
All right, I think this one probably gonna be more. But what's weird, or what's not weird about it, is it's the same old thing happening every time. As you guys speak about the Democrats needing to get their message out there, pick up their ground game, they don't historically spend any money with black news outlets. And what you see on the Republican side, Donald Trump had all your fringe grifting YouTubers to the White House, to Mar-a-Lago, to whatever party, to wherever the fuck. I'm gonna have you. Hey, come on. And you know what that did? Got them fools to be loyal soldiers and got all their people behind them. They're a 24-hour news cycle for Donald Trump. He hasn't spent no bread with them. You don't have to spend no bread with them. He just got to invite them to whatever function. He may be there, he may not be there. But the thing is, he's got that segment on lock. So he don't really necessarily need to spend any of that money. As you notice, Donald Trump probably ain't giving his money out like how Biden gonna spread that money out through all the mainstream news stations and all the big radio stations. But is Roland Martin gonna get a little bread? Doubt it. So it's like, who's really speaking to where the black audiences are? And is it those real big news outlets in Texas and Baltimore? But are any of those black owned is what I'm saying. So our message, I don't think, is ever going to get out the way we speak about it on this phone, because they're just not spending any money, I think, with anybody on the grassroots. Already we see Clyburn. We see Clyburn say, y'all niggas ain't getting no checks. So boom. So he ain't gonna be the one to advocate for any type of reparations. We know that now, right? So who is out there pushing that message that black folks really want to hear? I don't see it. And are the Democrats gonna spend money? Is Kamala that not attached? Is she really gonna be like, I really ain't attached to y'all niggas like that, and not be able to influence Joe Biden to spread that bread out? You know what I'm saying? That was the whole point of why she's there, wasn't it? Wasn't that the point?
She went on the Breakfast Club, remember?
The problem is, it seems like that's all you got to do. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how Charlemagne became the voice of black folks, but they always give us our leaders, right? They always choose our leaders. And right now, Charlemagne is everywhere. Soon it's going to be Candace Owens. It's only a matter of time before the liberals pick up and say, oh, you know what, Candace, you know, she might be right. It's only a matter of time before she they say, okay, yeah, y'all need to follow Candace. It's only a matter of time. That's just who they putting out there.
I mean, do you really think that at this time, with all that's going on, and with people having to work 2 and 3 jobs, I see them up on YouTube crying, even, you know, blonde women with children, and how they just so tired, white men, white women, of working like this and just barely surviving. I don't think anybody is going to want to get, I mean, other than black people, I don't think most other people are going to want to support reparations. This is a dire time in the economy. It's unfortunate. We should have gotten this done a long time ago.
I agree. Ain't nobody trying to hear nothing about no reparations. Not the other races. Now, you're right. Not the other races. They ain't trying to hear that.
No. Something.
Yeah, but see, at the same time, the immigrants still getting all this bread. They ain't fighting that. They ain't fighting that.
Well, some are. That's why they don't want to vote for Biden. That's another reason. I've heard people are upset because of that.
Was you trying to say something, Antoinette?
Getting it already is what I'm saying. They already getting it. It's one thing that they can't. It ain't coming for no vote. You know what I'm saying? It ain't coming for no vote. They just getting it.
We're supposed to be the perpetual group of people that are at the very bottom of the caste system forever into infinity. Okay.
I think Antoinette was trying to get in there. Are you trying to say something, Antoinette?
Yes, I was. To Sarge and ABC and others like him, I have a question for y'all. Now, y'all say that everything that Trump has going on, that he has done, things that he has said. So my question to y'all is, Trump said that on his first day, he would be a dictator. Now, I know y'all are going to say that, oh, he was just joking and everything else. But if everything that he said, he's done, y'all have no concern about him being a dictator? And then where is that going to put y'all? Because if y'all really think that he's going to favor you over his white counterparts, I think you're sadly mistaken. And that's what I wanted to say. Thank you. Thank you, Tyrone.
I agree. They think they will. As I keep saying, a black MAGA is probably one of the most nonsensical things there is on this planet. I don't get it. How y'all think that y'all...
That's somebody that's being used. So being used. This is all the other things here. I mean, look, with everything, when it came to taking us down, it was always by somebody who looked like us.
They're just as idiotic as those black incels talking about going over the okay?
I agree.
Done.
The black incels are nonsensical. The black MAGAs is nonsensical. But I can kind of get the incels a little bit because, well, we all know why they in the predicament they in. But the MAGAs, Lord.
They got $20 for some entertainment.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you, sis. I can sort of understand an incel considering that STDs have risen in this motherfucker, and there's a whole new strand of shit out there now. So I can understand why somebody could be skeptical. I can see that, but I can't see Trump. Like that Trump shit. That shit is beyond words.
Fungo STD.
And Mama's boy, I will say this, I don't like to get into this type of stuff, but they ain't getting and ain't nobody offering them none. That's why they mad. We have to be
Hey,
honest about it.
hey, look, I think majority of them got divorced when they voted for Trump. That's why you seeing them act like that. They ain't got no damn woman no more. And another thing that I think about, another thing, I I consider myself pretty intelligent. I can solve a Rubik's cube. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't,
Oh, I never could do that.
I can't figure out this Trump shit though.
I can't either.
Man, his shit is a maze that continues. That as it goes on, he changes the game. So that
Hey,
you
he's
get to the
switching it
end
up.
and then
Yeah.
he changes.
The floor is moving, coach. The floor is moving.
You at the end, that shit he switched that shit up.
But
Back to
Mama,
the beginning.
I want to say, yeah, you thinking if those incels think they're gonna escape, be STD free, going to those other countries, they picking up the same prostitutes.
No, they're thinking that women's rights will be taken back from them, and women will be back, and they can get them one. Y'all know that's because a big part of it.
Could you repeat what you said?
I said a lot of them think that the incels is thinking that women's rights will be beat back, women will be pushed back and put back in their place because they couldn't compete back when women wasn't where they were, and now that women is doing their own thing, they don't need a man to survive. They want women beat back so that they can get one. That's a big part of it too.
I don't think they're gonna get one. That's a delusion. Nobody's going back to no.
But if we were to be pushed back, they might have a better chance at getting women. Right now, they can't.
Sister Lisa, I hate to be the one to break it to them. I hate to be the one to break it to them, but check my science. If they think that women in 2024, when you see women, just take the Olympic soccer team. You actually think you gonna corral them damn women, and women ain't gonna go home, get their AR-15 and fight your bitch ass? Bro, if you think women going back to that old shit, then white women is not doing that, bro. They are not going back to that shit.
There's one that was real popular, and she was lying with her husband. He was very verbally kind of emotionally abusive. They were having an interview. You could tell she was one of them Stepford wives and mothers, and she demurred to him, and he called her stupid and stuff. And she broke out later crying and said how horrible it was to be married to him.
Oh, I think I remember who you talking about, because he was trying to control and this and that. But that's what they hoping for. Women will be put back in their place and will then need a man to survive.
See, they're going to keep her full of babies, and so now she's stuck. That's why they want to get rid of birth control. That's another thing on the MAGA agenda, to get rid of birth control. So that women will be barefoot pregnant and dependent. Now you can be abused. If I want to abuse you, you up under my foot.
Oh my goodness.
Yep.
But the crazy thing, things get all messed up. They can't go be able to support her or take care of them starving kids. That is what's so crazy about that.
People drinking and beating them. They will roll back the Violence Against Women's Act, and they're the police will come and just tell them to go take a walk and cool off like they used to.
Hey, Sister Lisa, I don't mean to drastically change the subject, but did you and Tyrone, I don't know if y'all still pull up the articles, but did you guys hear the story about the guy who got arrested in, I think, New Mexico, and he was planning on shooting up a concert in Atlanta that was going to be, he figured that a lot of...
I heard about that.
Oh, okay, you heard about that. Okay, yeah. He wanted to start a race war.
No, I didn't hear about
that. Yeah, it was is it Bad Bunny concert?
that they
Yeah,
was going to
Bad Bunny.
go and start a race war and shoot up and kill up a lot of black people. I don't know who Bad Bunny is, but they was going to do it at. Is this a white rapper? I'm not sure who this is. And they was going to shoot up and kill up a lot of black people, as many as they could, to start a race war. Yeah, I heard that. He got arrested.
He has some snappable tunes too. I listened to 2 of them because I don't listen to much of that. But
Is this
yeah,
is Bad Bunny a black
Reggaeton,
person? Or is it a
reggaeton.
woman?
He's a reggaeton.
Oh,
Puerto Rican,
okay.
Dominican dude.
oh, is he Puerto Rican? Because he's very
Puerto
fair.
Rican, Dominican. Yeah, he's that way. He's white Puerto Rican,
He's
Dominican.
a white Puerto Rican.
Oh.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Oh,
heard
so
that.
he's like Sarge. He's like Sarge. Sarge is a white black person. I got you.
He's Kevin from Django. See, that's what a lot of them think. Oh, I'll just play that role. I'll be obsequious and fawning, and I'll be the one to keep the other folks in place, bossa, and all that. They don't need you for that.
But the thing is, that wouldn't have started a race war. He would have just killed a lot of. They would have just killed up a lot of people, though. I don't know how they would think that would start a race war. I'm not picking up no gun and starting no fight off of that.
Well, you know, that whole premise comes from this book called The Turner Diaries. And basically it's about, the story is about that kicks off a race war by doing something like that. These guys all read those books. It's required reading for white supremacists. It's called The Turner Diaries.
Well, let me ask you, Joe, in your honest opinion, I've never read the book, I've never heard of it, but do you think that would start a race war? I don't think so.
Of course not. But when you're in that ecosystem, you know, you're going to subscribe to the material that basically is part of that ecosystem. And that is one of the foundational books for white supremacy. You look it up on Amazon. I think maybe it might be banned off Amazon. It's called The Turner Diaries. It's a whole series of books about some lone wolf. Yeah.
I'm gonna check that out, because that's not gonna start a race war. And like when people keep talking about we're gonna have another civil war, we're not having another civil war, because you have to have people to fight it. So we're not gonna have that.
Yeah, but you got to understand how these ecosystems like that work. You know, guys like Sarge and all that, ABC, they listen to this stuff all day, every day. You know, so they believe it because they hear it all day, every day. You know, the left is your enemy. They're trying to destroy this country. On and on and on and on and on. That's what's being fed to them all the time. And then if it's not being fed to them through social media, then they're getting it through their friends like Bianchi, who keep spamming the hell out of you with all the emails like that. So, you know, when they're caught, yeah. So when they're caught in that ecosystem, that's all they hear.
He's watching.
And you said it's called
oh my God!
I didn't hear what
Bianchi's listening to
Turner Diaries.
The Turner Diaries.
Yeah, Turner Diaries.
Okay.
Yes.
When was that written?
Oh, it was written a long time ago. Probably the 70s, I think.
Listen, they should. My folks say Harley trying to start to be involved in no race war. They gonna get up and they gonna be, you know, running the 440, okay, as fast as they can. They're gonna be up out of there. And nobody trying to. Somebody have some pieces and try to protect themselves, though. You know, at a concert like that.
Donald Trump got convicted. When Donald Trump got convicted in New York City, that was the show and tell. When he's supposed to come back, that is the sentencing. We're gonna see. This is when the moment is gonna be. What are they gonna do? And I would say that most likely what they're gonna do, which is what they should do, is keep their ass where they need to, at home. Because what's gonna happen is they don't want to lose their job. They're not going to go to jail for Donald Trump. They don't want to lose their jobs. They don't want to lose their life. Whatever life that they're complaining about, they sure don't want to lose that and end up in jail for some stupid shit. It doesn't make sense because he's not going to bail you out. He's not going to, I mean, he says he's going to pardon you, but I don't think he's going to make it to be president to pardon you. So that's a chance you got to take.
Can I
No,
add
the
something?
time. Go ahead.
Thank you. You know what else they're going to use? What they're going to use is the fact that their race is dwindling. You know, it's the white race is dwindling. That's the reason why they're putting this thing on birth control, because they're shooting women and black men in the streets. So they got to get their numbers up. So they're making it so it's they they're going to use that Catholic rule that you can't get birth control, but really they sterilize our people, our young people. No matter where they are, you give them false immunizations and whatever, and that's a conspiracy. So y'all take it for whatever it's worth. But there's ways that they try to keep our numbers down because they don't want to become the minority that they already are. So that's something that you really got to watch. I mean, we got to really tell our young people, especially of childbearing age, don't get caught up in this system for them to wipe us out because they're being wiped out. And
But
with
they
that,
can
I'm
get their
done.
numbers up. They can get their numbers up that way as well. They can get their numbers up that way as well, because they have the biracial mixed with another biracial. They just water it down. They got more people. They can still get their numbers up that way too.
What do they always say? If you have a drop of black blood, you're black. Now, notice when they changed that scenario was when Obama went into office, and then it was where you got to remember that his mother was Jewish, but before that, it was always that one drop black rule. And that's all you heard. So you can see that they already started that, because this was something that I heard when I was in high school when their numbers were going to start dropping. That it would be no more blue-eyed, blonde-haired people. And you really do not see that many anymore. And so how many of them is dye and contact lenses?
That's true. But they can still get their numbers up with interracial couples and birth. Mix them too. And then by the time they do it, they can still get their numbers up that way. And I think a lot of them their race, they have realized that they can get their numbers up.
Yep, I mean, but it's Go ahead. I'm sorry.
But we need to worry about our numbers aren't really doing what they need to do. But people just don't want to have these babies anymore. And I didn't want any. I still don't. So I can't fault people for not wanting all these babies anymore.
I can't fault them either, because it's too hard to take care of. And that old saying that just add more water to the soup, it's that's not getting it.
No, it's
and
not.
People,
and when the government, they don't want to get the tax credits, the child tax credits, that helping people out with daycare. They don't want to do a universal health care and all of that. But you want people to have babies. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to me, it's so you can have more slaves, just taking it back. I mean, and that's just where my mind goes. It's just that you want more slaves. You want more workers.
They have to give people incentives to want children. There's none other than I want the love of the love of child to love me. But if you look at the cost of raising a child and the time and energy, oh my God! Nowadays,
it's outrageous.
They want them to pay them taxes. That's what they want you to do. Just pay them taxes, but they don't want to help you raise a child and pay taxes.
It costs about anywhere from $250 to $300K to raise a child from birth to high school to 12th grade. I'll tell you that right now.
That's not similar to for lessons and all those other activities either, and vacations. And,
no, that's just regular. That's just regular going to school, paying for lunch.
Unless, of course, you're Juan and Maria, and you eat rice and beans every day, 3 times a day, then you can get it on the cheap,
Well, Japan is trying to give incentives. I know South Korea and a couple of the other European countries. They're trying to enact incentives and things health care already. But the women, they just don't want marriage and babies. United States don't want to give you nothing. They don't
They
give
say
you
South
anything.
Korea is really misogynistic still over there, and the women don't want to go through, and it's very expensive, and they become so superficial with how you look. I was just looking at a bunch of stuff. I didn't know. It's like, everybody's getting plastic surgery. They're getting their eyes open. They're getting nose jobs. They're getting skin bleached out. They just say they're working out all the time. Yeah, all this K-pop mess and all this, they want to spend money on clothes and shoes and purses, and they got to look the part. And they're like, and it's expensive over there to live.
Yeah.
To rent an apartment, to buy a home. The only cheap thing it is to eat out. It's kind of cheap to eat out, but everything else is very expensive, and it's very competitive. They say it's hard to get a job over there, and oh my God, they said, I was just looking at something. They all want to get a job at there's 5 big tech companies. Samsung is number 1. And there's some other ones. There's 3 or 4 other ones, and it's so competitive. I think 1 out of every couple of thousand might get a job that applied for it, but it's very competitive and it's so expensive, and they working them into the ground. They're not working.
Yeah, they're working them to death.
They're working them to death. So nobody has the time or money to have any children. It's really sad.
It is sad. And if you just had a little bit of free time, you're not thinking about no husband and no kids. You're thinking about that free time being for yourself. And I can't blame them for that. I can't blame the American women for not wanting all these big families and babies anymore. They just don't. And if the government does not give real incentives, it's going to continue on this path.
Well, the corporations don't want to pay their fair share of taxes. And a lot of our tax dollars is going to fund these wars. And it was blown. So, hey, no. Nope.
So taking away abortions is not going to cause the population to rise. They could get birth control. It's not going to help the population to rise. Women always found a way throughout history. They always have.
And now, you know what they're trying to set up in some a national register for when a woman gets pregnant. So say they know you're pregnant, and that's in the system. So now you leave one of those states and go to another state so you can have an abortion. Okay, you go and pay for it. Okay. But when you come back, we're going to know if you had a baby or not. And you're going to have to account for not having had. So now you're going to be criminalized.
Exactly. I was watching a documentary about Germany before the Nazi Party took over and started implementing different types of laws and things like that. Women were getting abortions and stuff over there. You're talking about throughout the 1920s and the early 30s. They were getting abortions. It wasn't legal. It wasn't illegal. People just did what they want. Then once the Nazi Party took over, they started implementing that. They didn't care if you weren't German. Yeah, you can still go ahead and do it if you want to. But they started implementing different laws. So women has always found a way throughout history to regulate their reproductive system. And women will go back to finding a way of how to doing it. So this is not going to cause the population to rise, which is so crazy. It's just not. Women are just, if they was outlawed completely, women has always found a way. Because I used to listen to the stories from some of my great aunts and stuff, where women would find themselves pregnant when they didn't want to be. And they didn't do the back alley abortions. This was people living in the South. They had their ways to regulate their reproductive system.
Different teams. What's going to happen? Those men, they're going to be raping those wives, too.
Mm-hmm. But the women will always find a way. So this is not going to cause the population to rise. That is what is so crazy about it. It's just not.
Well, you know what else is going to be a problem? What else is going to be a problem is, from what I've read and what I understand, is even women that miscarry. Because, you know, a miscarriage is called a spontaneous abortion.
Yep.
That is the technical term for a miscarriage. So if you have a miscarriage, then they're saying that there's a possibility that you could still be charged with murder.
And that's, you know, usually there's something very wrong with the fetus. That's like a way to not bring a deformed child with all kind of problems into the world, or someone that won't live anyway if it's born.
Well, now you have all of this pedophilia and everything, so they don't care what, you know, these babies are coming out like.
The body has a way of, if it's not a viable pregnancy, the body has a way of getting rid of it. And that's really all it is. It's nature.
And it's really sad because there was a family member some years ago who was pregnant and was feeling so sick and kept going to, you know, the OB. And, of course, you know, it's a black person, so they really didn't take it as serious as they should. And so she was like, her mother told me she looked like she was about to die. She said, come on, we're taking you to another hospital, and took her to an ER. She was in an OR the next day. They said, we don't know what this is in you. We see some masses. We don't know. She had, the baby was dead. Fetus was dead. She had two huge fibrous, because she told the doctors to take pictures of whatever they found. They was holding up huge. They looked like alien creatures, like this kind of rounded, fibrous, bloody-looking tumors, but they weren't cancer. They were just like huge growth. One was the size of a huge grapefruit, and one was the size of a big orange. It was growing. They were growing. It was like growing tissue squished the baby's head in. The baby. Huh?
Was it in her tube?
No, it was in her uterus. And
okay,
the baby.
Sometimes when you have when it's a tubal pregnancy.
Well, it wasn't a tubal pregnancy. No. It was some growth, I guess, you know, and so because you release a lot of growth hormones when you're pregnant, so these masses, these tissue just grew. So now, listen, if she would have died if they hadn't taken her to the OR, okay? And so, you know, it's just like some of those states, those women gonna be in trouble.
Yeah, some of them already are. Some already are. When they told that the pregnancy is not viable, they're being sent from hospital to hospital to hospital.
And I think one
they don't know what
she just died because they wouldn't give her an abortion. She needed it. It was like life-threatening. I think it went to court recently. Some state, and they ruled against her or something. I don't know. I don't know what happened. I just didn't finish reading it.
But you're hearing a lot more of those stories. Non-viable pregnancies, and the hospitals are afraid to touch them, and they don't know what to do.
Right, because a lot more of these stories lose their license to go to prison. But you know, some people are moving out the country. They're taking their whole families, and they're leaving. They really are.
Or at least get out of the red state. Or at least get out of the red state. Get out of the red state if you're able.
I'm not.
But a lot of people aren't able. If you're unable, you're just not able. But for those who are, they're getting up out of the red state.
And that's why unfortunate people didn't know how to talk and work together and build anything so you can have some resources. And that should always be at the top of the list. But people too busy competing and tearing each other down and being jealous and competitive. And that's a big problem. Hence, people, yeah.
Well, guys, I'm getting ready to get off of here, and y'all know everything that y'all talking about is based in religion, and that's the only reason that these politics is going that way is because it's backed by the religious.
Based in religion.
Yeah,
absolutely.
and people don't want to face that realism. I'm not saying like I used to say how terrible I used to be with my rhetoric, but there's a danger in these ideologies, and that's why we're having this discussion now. But people won't make the connection why the Supreme Court did what they did. Why the justice wife said that she was going to hang the flag, the heart of Jesus, in support of their agenda. But anyway, I'm getting ready to get off here. I'm gonna open up the lines. Y'all can continue to talk. Y'all having a great conversation, and I'll leave YouTube open.
Q&A session is over. All participants are unmuted.
Oh, and I'm getting ready to go, but I wanted to add they're taking stats of the OBGYNs who are leaving the red states and setting up shop elsewhere. Lots of different doctors, they're leaving the red states and setting up. And it's costing, they've always, especially in rural areas, they've always, and in the red states, they have problems with medical care because they don't have enough doctors and things setting up shop. And now a lot of them are leaving the red states. And look at the problem that's causing. And then you have idiotic people will say, well, because abortion. No, this is causing a massive effect on all kinds of things, not just what you think. And if the red states are already having problems with doctors and having enough, and they're leaving. If I was an OBGYN, just in case someone who's listening who doesn't know, they're not all of them, they're not abortion doctors. The ones that take care, if you know what an OBGYN, look it up. And they don't want to practice in the red states anymore for fear of losing their license and going to prison if something goes wrong.
This is a shame. This is shameful.
It is shameful. It is shameful. Well, I'm going to go to, this was a great conversation, but I got to get up in the morning and log in. But we just have to hope for the best. That's all I can say. We got to hope for the best.
Yeah. That's true. We go vote.
But I don't live in a red state. But
I would
eventually, if they're able to do what they want to do, it might end up affecting the blue state. But no, if I lived in a red state, I would move. I would move out of the red state. That's just me. But a lot of people cannot do that. And it's not that I got all this money where I can do it, but I would find a way.
Mm-hmm.
I would find a way. I would find a way. I'm not living in a red state. And then also I heard a report that if Trump is elected, and if the Project 2025, if they are able to start enacting that, the red states are going to be hit the hardest first.
Okay, what did you just say?
I was listening to a report about, everybody talking about the 2025. If Trump does win and they start enacting that, the red states